Listen from any device. Rams football on WMIX Sports is powered by the official voice of Rams Athletics, Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Rams football is also sponsored in part by the Medicine Shop of Mount Vernon, Ford Square and King City Chrysler. You can count on us. Red Lake College. Save thousands on your college education. Log on to rlc.edu. State Farm Insurance Agent Tony Wilt. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Second Chance Auto on Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Van Terra Bank. Good Samaritan Regional Health Center. Raising a Hospital. Raising the Bar. Winning Edge. Schmidt Ford of Salem. And also by the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois. Landers Collision Centers of Mount Vernon and Salem. Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon. All Stars and Stitches. Central Christian Church. And People's National Bank. It's time to join Chris Hugo and Danny Czerwinski for Mount Vernon Rams football. From the Ford Square WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, the Landers Collision Center's pregame show starts now.
And good evening from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. It is your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. Tonight it's a South 7 Conference showdown between the Mount Vernon Rams and the Carbondale Terriers. Every team in the South 7 comes into this week's action with a 1-1 mark. What does that mean? Well, it means that half of the teams will be in first place and half of the teams will be a game back by the time action is finished, we hope, tonight. There are some weather delays around the region. We'll see if that becomes a factor here tonight as we take a look at your radar. We'll do that, of course, all throughout your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. 1-888-LANDERS. That's 1-888-LANDERS. Ask about free detailing for the life of your car next time you have collision repair work done at Landers Collision Centers in Mount Vernon and Salem. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. Jeff Crow brings you the video angles at WMIXsports.com. Ollie Carroll keeps us on the air here on WMIX 940. The Terriers are 4-1. They are 1-1 in the South 7 Conference, while the Rams are 3-2. They are 1-1 in the South 7 Conference. Basically, all that means is that after tonight, we may not know any more about the South 7 than we did a week ago.
Not much to know about the South 7 right now, except you have 6 teams 1-1. Unless there's a tie tonight, half the teams will be 2-1, and half the teams will be 1-2 after the evening. And it's just one of those things where right now I don't think you're going to learn a lot about the South 7 until after Week 8, because everybody's so even, everybody is level, and everybody has their own ways of doing things. And again, another interesting set of games tonight in the South 7 that will go a long way. And, of course, for these two teams, Carbondale gets this one, kind of gets the lead back in a conference to tie. Mount Vernon needs to get this one to get that momentum back and get that 4th win of the season.
Well, the Rams are certainly a team that if they can get to that 5-win mark would certainly have the playoff points to carry them into the playoffs, but they got to get 2 more wins first. Of course, we'll talk with Jared Shaner about that as we re-air Saturday's interview from the Saturday Sports Room with Coach Shaner. We talk about last week's tough 44-42 overtime loss to Marion. We foreshadow tonight's game with the Carbondale Terriers. Terriers are now coached by Nick Hill. We'll tell you more about Nick's tenure and his path to becoming Carbondale head football coach a little bit later on. First, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk with Jared Shaner. This is Rams football powered by Community First Bank.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new One account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations with 7 ATMs and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC.
Luxury has been reinvented with the technological innovations from the 2013 Lincoln MKX and MKZ. Hi, Roy Schmidt Lincoln dealer at Ford Square, Mount Vernon. The king of luxury crossovers is back with many innovations, including heated and cooled front seats, panoramic vista roof, and available ambient lighting. You'll love everything the MKX has to offer. And don't forget the redesigned 2013 Lincoln MKZ. With elegant fluid lines, every surface is faceted like the many dimensions of discovery. For a very limited time, enjoy $4,000 in dealer discounts plus 0% financing for up to 60 months on the MKX and MKZ. Come see our selection of Lincoln Luxury at Ford Square, Mount Vernon, 1501 Broadway in Mount Vernon, or online at fordsquare.com.
Watch the Rams online at WMIXsports.com. Powered by Ren Lake College.
Welcome back to the Landers Collision Center pregame show on WMIX and WMIXsports.com. We're just moments away from the Mount Vernon Rams and the Carbondale Terriers. It is homecoming night for J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. Can the Rams rebound from last week's overtime loss to the Marion Wildcats? It was 44-42 1 week ago. We talked about that last Saturday with Jared Shaner, of course, on the Saturday Sports Show. We also previewed tonight's game with the tough Terriers. All teams in the South 7 Conference, you may remember, come in with a 1-1 mark. Tonight, half the teams will be 2-1, and half the teams will be a game back at 1-2. We talked to Jared Shaner on Saturday on the Saturday Sports Show, of course, every week. It's at 8 a.m., actually after the 8 o'clock news here on WMIX and WMIXsports.com. Here's Jared Shaner.
I know that you would love to have had a better morning and take that one against the Marion Wildcats last night, but a team that has always had a tough, close-knit rivalry with Mount Vernon. Even though it goes the other way last night, I still think there's a lot of positives to be taken from last night's game.
Well, yeah, from a football game perspective, it was a good game. Both teams made plays at times, and obviously it was exciting. They came back a little bit and tied it up and go to overtime, and it comes down to the final play, a 2-point conversion. So, exciting game, and we did a few good things, but definitely just disappointed. We had plenty of opportunities to make a couple plays offensively or defensively and just didn't get it done.
A couple of things that stand out to me. One of those was the fact that your team jumped out early. Things went pretty easily for your team. But then Marion came back, and I kind of sit on the rail, kind of punched your team in the mouth a little bit. How did you feel about your team coming back like they did, to battle back and take the lead, even though Marion was not going to let your team roll over and do what they wanted to do last night?
Yeah, that was definitely good. We, going into halftime, we felt like, we could have scored right before half and gave them a long pass. So we were a little frustrated. The kids were down at half, and I said, you know what, it's glad that you guys are disappointed, but ultimately we're still up 8 points. Let's go out and play like we're in it. And credit their offense in that third quarter, they kind of did to us what I try to do to people, and that was our offense stood over on the sideline and watched the game. And they put a nice drive together to start it. We got the ball back, fumbled on the first play, gave them the ball, and they put another drive together. And I looked up, and it was, 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, and we had touched the ball one play. That was pretty frustrating. But I was proud of our kids. I felt like we toughened up a little bit there at the end of the third, beginning of the fourth. And, we did put a drive together and took the lead again, but unfortunately, gave it back up there later on.
Getting it back up there, and what Marion did, I thought, like you mentioned, that drive, when they were able to march down the field, I think it was a 13-play drive they put together. It seemed to me, even though it ended up tied and going into overtime, it seemed to me that drive by Marion really kind of changed the complexion of the game and the mindset for both teams, as well as Marion's change of quarterback. Talk about the change of quarterback for Marion, how that affected you and your coaching staff as far as making plans in the game to try to control Marion from that point on.
Well, yeah, I think, two things, like you just said. Number one, I think momentum's a pretty funny thing. There's no way to really keep a stat on it, but anybody that knows anything about sports can watch it in any contest, and it kind of swung last night, and they took it from us, and sometimes it's hard to get it back. So they did a nice job. And then in terms of their quarterback play, their sophomore played in the first half. Prior to the game, we talked to them. Coaching staffs get along pretty well, and they just felt like he was the best direction for them to go, and maybe put number 4 at the receiver position. Give them a little more athleticism out there. And so they did that for the first half, and had they done that for the second half, I think we probably would have got a win. But the Hill kid just gives them a whole other dimension at quarterback.
When you get Hill out, when Hill comes in and gives you that next dimension, and at that point you have to adjust defensively, how much of a key was that for them to execute and convert on fourth down in the second half compared to what they did in the first half?
Well, I think it was huge. Like I say, he just gives them another dimension. He's probably one of the best athletes on their team. And the thing that when I watched the film last night, this morning, is We gave up some long pass plays. But really, it wasn't that defensive backs were out of position or anything like that. It's that he keeps plays alive at his feet. And it's tough to go out and cover somebody for, 4, 5, 6 seconds long. And then he starts to scramble, and you get a defensive back that comes up, and, all of a sudden he puts it over your head or whatever the case may be. So, like I said, he's a good athlete, really just gives them a whole other dimension to their football game.
Speaking of dimensions and dimensions to offense, I thought the Rams did a great job last night of showcasing their running game and able to mix it up quite a bit to keep Marion on their toes. And though it did not work out for a win for the Rams, I still thought that so many dimensions were on display last night that will have to be a benefit, of course, coming up for future games, because after seeing everything last night, every team now in the conference is 1-1. The only conference in the state that can say that. Every game is going to be up for grabs, it seems like, from here on out.
Well, I think so, and I think that's the other reason. I hate to dwell on it because there's nothing we can do about it now. But I just knew what a great opportunity we had last night. We let one get away, and the thing I told the kids after the game was that's life. It doesn't always go your way. Things happen, and there's no taking them back or getting them back. So yeah, you're right. Everybody's 1-1. So ultimately, the way we have to approach it, and 5 other head coaches in the conference are doing this morning, is really in conference everybody's 0-0. It doesn't matter. You got to go out, and if you win your games, you're going to be good. So that's the mentality we have to take from this point forward.
Sun came up, and you turned the page to next week. A Carbondale team that's got their ship righted last night after stumbling at Centralia last week. They went at home against Cahokia at this time. What can you tell us about Carbondale coming into the game?
Well, they're scary. They have unbelievable weapons on offense. They've got a couple basketball kids out that I don't think have played in the past. Their quarterback leads Southern Illinois in passing. They have a receiver that's caught 50 balls. He caught 20 in one game last week. They're just really, really dangerous. They score a bunch of points. And their defense is much improved, too. They haven't given up anything. So they're definitely going to be a test. We have homecoming coming up this week, so it's always a challenge with the kids. You want them to enjoy the full experience of high school and all it has to offer and homecoming activities, but I was tell kids, and they're about to come in this morning, when you're a football player, homecoming week sucks if you don't win the game. So that's going to be our focus.
Is homecoming I know there's other things, but school function-wise, is that the one that would give most coaches gray hair?
That's or no hair, one of the two.
What kind of distractions? Well, I mean, for a listener out there, obviously it's not been around it for a while in high school. So what kind of distractions are you having to deal with or focus with this week as far as getting your team ready for the game with all the homecoming activities going on?
Yeah. Well, homecoming, like I said, it's an enjoyable time and very good for the school and the community. But in terms of football and keeping your kids focused, it becomes difficult. Every school does a little different, but here each day has a different theme. So kids might dress up or do something different on each day of the week. At night, we have a couple different things going on. We have a powder puff football game this year where the girls are going to play flag football game, and the boys are kind of involved in that a little bit. Obviously, we have the parade later on in the week. We have an assembly. They have the dance that is just over the top. It's a really big deal. The girls always look nice, and the guys usually dress up in more tuxedos, and so there's all these things going on, and kids and coaches have to find a way to balance. Being able to partake in those things and have a good time and enjoy it, but also keep your mind on, having 4 good practices this week, coming out and being focused on Friday night, not thinking about what time you're going out for supper the next day or when your girlfriend's getting her hair done or, who you're going to the dance with. So, again, those are kind of some of the things that you deal with during homecoming week.
Well, it can be a positive, but sometimes, unfortunately, it can be a negative. And, of course, what kind of positives can you relate to the Rams this week about Carbondale? All the ink has been on this high-powered, high-octane offense. I think Cahokia last night displayed some ways that you can stop them. Centralia did a week ago. Of course, every team is 1-1 in the conference. There's that. But also another thing to take away is that, granted, these are completely different kids, but in 2011, this was a Carbondale team that came into J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium again on homecoming night, and the Rams were able to send them packing with a loss. I mean, there's a lot of positives to look at coming into Week 6.
Well, you're absolutely right, Chris. The last 2 years, 2 years ago, we beat them on our homecoming. Last year, we went to their place for homecoming, and should have probably got a win, gave one away late. So we've played them well the last few years. Obviously, they have a new coach and, doing a few different things, but ultimately, I think we can still talk about those things. And then, just the fact that you are right that the last 2 weeks, two conference teams have held them, I guess you can say, in check comparatively to what they had been doing. I think they've scored, between 25 and 30 the last couple of weeks. So, we got to watch those films and see how that happened. And, hopefully improve a little bit defensively and, clean up some mistakes on offense.
Final question for you before I let you go. Get ready for your team. Of course, you know what it is, our sports social media question of the week. And this week's question is, what pro franchise would you like to own?
Well, I don't know if I can give you two or not. From my heart, it would definitely be the Seahawks. I just think they have a sweet thing going up there, and with the stadium and the 12th man and things like that. And I guess also from my heart, some people aren't going to be very happy with this, but the Cubs, they just have a great, unique history and tradition, and whether you love them or hate them, they have a great following. They sell out games, and I think from an owner perspective, there's a lot of brand marketing and money to be made. So I think maybe that one's a little bit more with my pocketbook than my heart.
There you go. There is nothing wrong with that whatsoever, Shaner. Of course, we wish the best of luck to the Rams this week against the Terriers, and I think it's definitely a game to be had and a reason to celebrate homecoming this week.
Well, I sure hope so. Thanks for having me this morning, guys.
That, of course, was Saturday's interview with Mount Vernon Rams head football coach Jared Shaner, of course, talking about the tough loss last week, how to rebound this week, of course, against another tough team in the Carbondale Terriers, and, of course, prefacing basically how week in and week out every game is going to be a tough one, and we really don't know week in and week out who's going to win which game. It's parity in the South 7 Conference. That's just the way we like it. And, of course, expecting a good one here tonight. It's the Rams and it's the Terriers, and it's coming up in just a short while. This is your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. We need to take a break. This is Rams football powered by Community First Bank.
I'm Tyler Barker with a look at your next rad weather. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and isolated thunderstorms, a low of 66. Saturday, a slight chance of showers and isolated thunderstorms, a high of 84. Saturday night, a slight chance of showers and isolated thunderstorms, a low of 51. Sunday, a slight chance of showers, partly cloudy, a high of 65. Sunday night, a slight chance of showers, partly cloudy, a low around 42. Monday, partly cloudy, a high near 68. Next rad weather from WMIX Mount Vernon, Illinois.
The tradition of fine vehicles and great service continues at Second Chance Auto. They've been providing quality cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs for families like yours for over 33 years, and many are priced under $10,000. Plus, most have a 3-month or 3,000-mile warranty. Bank rate financing available with instant approval. No gimmicks, no pressure, just honest deals on great vehicles from your friends and neighbors at Second Chance Auto, living and contributing back to the community they serve. Located on Route 142 East in Mount Vernon, call 244-4582.
Backaches, bad hips, rickety knees? Why not try aquatic therapy? The Red Lake College Aquatic Center has more than a swimming pool. Try a 6-lane, 75-foot lap pool, along with a whirlpool 10 feet in diameter and a 10-foot by 20 hydrotherapy pool. Aquatic therapy is very affordable. In many cases, the tuition is waived entirely. With special access and dressing areas for the elderly and physically challenged, getting in the water is easy. Experts are on hand to assist with various areas of aquatic fitness and rehab. Call 437-5321 extension 1207 or visit rlc.edu.
This is Mount Vernon Rams football, powered by Community First Bank of the Heartland.
And we welcome you back to the J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium in the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios. This is your Landers Collision Center's pregame show on WMIX and WMIXSports.com. Chris Hugo and Danny Czerwinski here with you. Jeff Crow brings you the video angles at WMIXSports.com, and, of course, Holly Carroll is back at our Mount Vernon studio. Some news since we departed for our Jared Shaner interview. This game will now be backed up until 7:15. So, lightning delay, of course, as some inclement weather is rolling to our south and east, our southeast. Actually, it's the same cell delayed the game down at Benton's Tabor Field between the Benton Rangers and the Harrisburg Bulldogs, but it's kind of just going to, scoot to our southeast a little bit. Shouldn't hit us, but some lightning from that, of course, has delayed us and pushed us back until 7:15. So Mom Nature can't go another season without getting just briefly involved. And so the Rams start at 7:15 tonight against Carbondale here on homecoming night. But I think you're thankful for right now that that's all it was. Could have been much worse. Could have definitely done some things to the field, but all in all, you're going to have a nice dry carpet to play on, as of right now.
As of now, I wouldn't bet on anything yet. The clouds were very ominous. About 5 o'clock here is about 85, 88 degrees. Sun blasting and blaring onto the field, and within an hour, you're cloudy, dark, overcast here at 6:45, 6:50. And ominous clouds to the north and to the south. Of course, in Benton, as you mentioned, they are delayed till 7:30. That's how big a rain they had down there. We didn't get that rain at all here yet, but the way the radar looks and the way things look right now, as you said, it might skirt to the east of us a little bit, but we shall see, as weather is not very predictable, as everyone knows.
No, it is not, but we'll keep an eye on the radar and the weather forecast for you here on your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. It's going to be a bit of an extended pregame, but that's okay. Plenty of content to come your way here on Mount Vernon Rams Sports, presented by Community First Bank of the Heartland. We're going to keep it here for quite a while, and eventually take you into kickoff, which is now at 7:15 here tonight between the Mount Vernon Rams and the Carbondale Terriers. It is homecoming night. Of course, the Terriers come in, had a coaching change about halfway through the summer, as SIU Hall of Famer Nick Hill takes over now for Dan Custer, who spent about 5 years in Carbondale. But it'll be Nick Hill leading the troops, and they come in with a 4-1 mark. Only loss was a 28-27 edging on the road at Centralia. Rebound last week, get a touchdown win over Cahokia. Now come in here tonight looking to prove themselves, but again, that South Southern Conference enigma that we talked about, not knowing anything really about the conference thus far, because you've had a Carbondale team years upon years upon years consecutively come in with an undefeated mark and then come into this game and get handed their first loss and often go 4-5.
Well, the roles have changed a lot for Nick Hill. When he first was hired at Carbondale, it was in April or May. Late April, mid-April, he was hired as offensive coordinator to Dan Custer, and that got a lot of ink and publicity with Nick coming back to the area. And also, retiring from the Arena Football League. And then, of course, in July, Custer resigns, and, of course, Nick Hill's hired to fold right in. So, you look at what he's done, Chris, 4-1 over the first 5 weeks. Some would argue that it's a soft 4-1. Obviously, with Murphy and Heron on the schedule from the River to River, Ohio, smaller schools, a Waterloo team that, of course, also about the same size, maybe smaller, but Waterloo had a playoff potential. That was a nice win for Carbondale at home. But their tough game at Centralia, they got beat by an Orphans team that's not like they've been in 2 years. So everybody's kind of wondering, is this more of a finesse, softer Carbondale team than what many people have seen, and maybe Mount Vernon can be physical within the night, or at least more physical than their 5 previous opponents?
Well, and I think that's kind of the question to come in tonight, as you just said. And you take a look at the Rams, meanwhile, who come in with a 3-2 mark. They lost in overtime last week to the Marion Wildcats 44-42, but have played decent football since an opening week loss on the road at Rochester. They lost 32-6. Of course, that was a game in which Braden Fitzgerald ran back a 94-yard kickoff return. Defeat Mascoutah 28-7 on the road. Hammer Triad at home 48-21 and beat Althoff on the road 41-32. But of course, coming in with quite a few playoff points, Rams just need 2 more wins and are probably assured of an appearance in this year's postseason. But it is a big week all around the IHSA football. And of course, you take a look at Week 6 action tonight. We do know that Cahokia is at Centralia. Marion will tangle with Althoff, and of course the Carbondale Terriers are in here tonight. But apparently this is, as we take a look at the rest of our Big 3 conferences at least, River to River things get quite interesting tonight as well.
Down south at Benton tonight, Harrisburg and Benton's a big game, a battle of number 2 quarterbacks. Both starting quarterbacks in that ball game for both teams, Harrisburg and Benton, are questionable. Harrisburg out, Spike Mutton at Benton questionable for that game. Heron and Massac, if Heron tries to keep rolling after their struggling start, Frankfort and Murphy in a battle of 2 teams that everybody keeps waiting to turn around. A.J. Pinckneyville, A.J. looks to rebound after a tough loss at home against Carterville. Pinckneyville stubbed their toe at DuQuoin last week, and of course have A.J. in. DuQuoin and Sparta. Can DuQuoin stay alive and stay in the playoff hunt going to Sparta? And then Nashville has that big task of driving to Carterville tonight. So if you look at the River to River in general, Harrisburg and Benton is obviously the big marquee game of the evening.
Of course, the game will now be backed up again as another bolt of lightning was spotted. So that'll delay things. Don't have an official start time yet, as that 30 minutes has been tacked on. That was about 2.5 minutes ago. Week 6 action, of course. We take a look at the Apollo Conference tonight. Charleston travels to Mount Zion. Effingham, who is now 2-0 in the Apollo, travels to Paris. And Salem is at Mattoon in Apollo Conference play. And you take a look at the Apollo now. Effingham started off the season, I believe, 0-3. Took a tough loss in Week 2, of course, against Paxton Buckley Loda. Lost to Centralia in Week 3. Was able to get a big win over Salem, I believe, in the opener of the conference. But it's an Effingham team. The Flaming Hearts, of course, probably not going to get a home game if they're able to hang tough and make the playoffs. But it's an Effingham team that's come along nicely over the past couple of weeks.
Come along nicely, but you wonder if it's enough. That tough schedule they got to live on and go on after this. Very difficult, and of course the Apollo Conference not easy to mess around with. So, again, for Effingham, a perennial playoff team just a few years ago, struggling to get into the playoffs now.
That they are. We take a look at the Cahokia Conference as we go alphabetically outside of our Big Three focus groups. Columbia is at Freeburg tonight, one of my favorite Cahokia matchups. Redbud at Central and Westland at Carlisle. Carlisle's been hanging tough this season, of course, drubbed by Columbia last week in what was the St. Louis Rams game of the week. But now you take a look at that Cahokia Conference. Columbia, obviously the odds-on favorite, but always a tough rivalry matchup at Freeburg.
Well, yeah, I mean, Columbia's the one to beat. Freeburg, of course, with turf on the field, nice little place and facility they've revamped. And you have to look at Columbia being the favorite there. And really, Carlisle Westland next year, they'll play twice, once the conference game, once as a regular season contest.
Of course, we're talking about Week 6 action in the IHSA. This game has been delayed between the Mount Vernon Rams and the Carbondale Terriers from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. This is your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. Rams football, of course, is powered by Community First Bank of the Heartland. We're in the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Ford Square. We'll tell you about all of our sponsors throughout the night here on Rams Athletics. But taking a look also, again, going alphabetically, the Central State 8, a big game tonight is Rochester at Glenwood. We'll see a battle of Titans, no pun intended there, with the Rockets and Titans. Springfield High is at Jacksonville. Lanphier at Southeast. Taylorville at Lincoln. Sacred Heart is the odd man out this week. Rochester Glenwood, now this SHG Rochester, the Leonard Bowl is out of the way for the conference. Well, actually, to possibly maybe see a three-way tie in the conference, and Chatham could beat Rochester. I just can't see that.
Well, that's the matchup. Tickets are premium there. In fact, they're looking at that place being sold out, standing room only, and everything in that one.
That they are. As we move on down the conferences, of course, that was a look at the Central State 8, which is going to have a different look over the next couple of years as teams filter in and out. Going on down the list as far as teams in the WMIX daytime coverage area, we take a look at the Little Illini Conference on the eastern side. Edwards County travels to Powhut. It's Red Hill at Cumberland and Oblong at KZ Westfield. I think at this point, you could probably pick the home teams, maybe a wild card matchup there with Edwards County and Powhut. But all in all, it's going to be an interesting week on the eastern side. We'll see what happens there. In the Egyptian side, Flora is at Marshall. Lawrenceville is at East Richland, and Newton and Robinson. And that was quite the matchup a week ago on a Saturday between Albany and Robinson, of course, as it's a battle of a 4-0 team versus a 3-1 team. But all in all, here in the South, things are getting quite interesting as we head into Week 6.
Well, tonight is the first night that teams can clinch full playoff berths. I don't count them. I don't count teams getting in playoffs until they get 6-0. So tonight's the first time. Centralia is now delayed as well. They are at home against Cahokia.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So they are delayed all the way up there in Centralia. That's another crucial South 7 conference matchup. Every team in the South 7 is 1-1. A conference where they do not have that problem is the Mississippi Valley, though it is a 16 conference. Of course, South 7 is the only conference with all 1-1 teams in conference play. Highland is a Civic. I think Highland has to be a heavy favorite there. A game where the Rams, of course, will get a playoff point either way is Triad at Mascoutah, and then Waterloo travels up the road to Jerseyville. Things look interesting in the Mississippi Valley.
It's Highlands to lose right now. I mean, it's interesting down the road because you might see a couple teams come south when playoff pairings are announced. That's the one to keep an eye on. Of course, the Valley and the Central State 8.
Of course, Waterloo, Jerseyville could be a nice little matchup there in the Mississippi Valley this week. And, of course, there is a big game in the Southwestern Conference this week. We've already talked about the River to River and most of our focus schools, but Edwardsville is at Belleville West. And I still think Edwardsville has to be the heavy favorite in that one, but Belleville West, under Coach Pettis, packing the power.
Well, yeah, and I like Edwardsville in that matchup, though it's Belleville West. We'll have updates to that as it goes along in the evening from people at that ball game, so we're looking forward to seeing how that is.
Of course, we already know by now we're going to be one of the later games tonight. Of course, right now in the Southwestern Conference, Belleville East travels to Alton at Public School Stadium. Granite City is at Eastside tomorrow. and O'Fallon will travel to Collinsville tonight in Southwestern Conference play. We have reached the top of the hour. We'll pause for
high school sports are back, and your source for scores is WMIXsports.com. On your desktop or mobile device at WMIXsports.com. Your radio home for the Mount Vernon Rams is WMIX Mount Vernon, a free service from Withers Broadcasting.
Here we are from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium on WMIX, the aforementioned WMIXsports.com. Alongside DC, I'm Chris Hugo. Jeff Crow is here as well. Avery Barton can be heard in the background as he is our public address announcer tonight. Of course, another WMIX correspondent, he's our Mike Pereira. It is Brent Garrison, as he'll be helping out with some of the offense or official knowledge tonight, of course, as he will help out in the booth. But it is a WMIX sports tandem up here, pretty well in control tonight. Holly Carroll back to the Mount Vernon studio, taking care of things back there. Still plenty to talk about on your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. The national anthem still to come, barring any more lightning in the region. We're already backed up. Start time was backed up to 7:15. It's been backed up further now. 20 minutes or so left on the clock here at J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. We talked to Jared Shaner just a moment ago. Of course, it was Saturday's interview from the Saturday Sports Show. We'll have that again tomorrow at 8:08 after the 8 o'clock news here on AM 940 and WMIXsports.com. We'll work to get you a loaded lineup. We can't tell you with certainty. We'll talk with Mount Vernon Rams head football coach Jared Shaner. We'll talk with Johnny Hollis. SBWW, a big Black Diamond Conference game tonight. We'll talk to our WMIX sports correspondents. They, of course, be Todd Russian and John Shadowins. Quinn McClure will stop by to talk Mount Vernon Rams golf. We'll be getting the rest of the guest list throughout the night here as things kind of progress in high school football tonight. There are some delays from around the area, of course, and we'll see kind of what happens here as the night does indeed progress. But a weather delay from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium in the WMIX Sports Mobile Studio. So glad to have you alongside tonight, filling with content about this Mount Vernon Rams football season. And if you haven't seen it yet, you need to check it out. The Mount Vernon Rams seniors on the football team, of course, with help from Coach Medved and, of course, Coach Jared Shaner, were able to put together a little parody video, of course, of the Geico Hump Day commercial. If you haven't seen it, you need to YouTube it. And then you'll understand the MV Rams Game Day spot/spoof that you can find on WMIXsports.com. Just head to our archive page. It's under special coverage. You'll find it there. It's on our YouTube channel if you want to check it out. Of course, we posted it on Twitter earlier today where you can give us a follow at WMIX Sports, or you can find it on our Facebook page as well. Find us there, Facebook.com/WMIX Sports. MV Rams Game Day, and it's quite the thing that they have put together, a little bit of the creative side of Mount Vernon Rams football today, again, as they spoof. What day is it? What day is it? What day is it? Of course, it is Friday, and it is game day. So check that out on WMIXsports.com. If you're watching us online, all you have to do is got to click on the Archive tab and go under Special Coverage. There it is. Ready for you to click on it. It's part of our YouTube channel. And, of course, we did post that on the Twitterverse, as we told you a little bit earlier. But as we kind of take a gander around the Twitterverse, of course, and things that we have on there now, basically you're going to find that Benton-Harrisburg back up to 7:30. This one was 7:15, though it's going to be a little bit later now.
Well, the players, at least Carbondale, have made their way back onto the field. Carbondale, I should say Coquette and Treya also in a delay. Would not shock me to see games in, along, and near the I-57 corridor get a little bit of the delay here tonight as they start off. That's going to throw some dinner plans and other things off. But the Carbondale players have started to come back onto the field here at 7:03, so we'll be curious to see why they're on the field so early. Once you got to let that time run off before you get back on the field. I'm surprised that these student-athletes and band members, at least, as well, also in the area, they'll need to be out there yet. Surprised the Lightning late that why so many people are still sitting in metal bleachers.
Yeah, that's one of those things, always kind of a mystery, but those, they take it into their own hands, and they will certainly pay the price if that were to ever happen. So thankfully not yet, but hopefully the worst stuff will stay away. There are some cells, of course, developing over southwestern Illinois, and, of course, across the river. Some are dissipating as they form. Some are strengthening with intensity. We'll keep an eye on the radar for you as things go along here on your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. 188-Landers. That's 1-888-Landers. Of course, next week will be an even busier week, of course, as we have Lady Rams volleyball for you here on WMIX. Thursday, it'll be Lovejoy coming into Shagnon Gymnasium, and the Lady Rams will do battle. Of course, they had to Mount Carmel on Monday night. We will unfortunately be able to carry that game for you, but they return to the airwaves and the video at WMIXsports.com on Thursday. That'll be Lovejoy at Shagnon Gymnasium. Friday night, we're back on the road against Cahokia as the Mount Vernon Rams will travel in the South 7 Conference matchup Week 7. 6:30 will be your pregame on Friday night. 7 o'clock, of course, will be your kickoff in St. Clair County 1 week from tonight. The clock reads 17 minutes, pardon me. I did not see that first one through the window pane, but 17 minutes and 18 seconds now on the clock. Thankfully, have not seen really any flashes of lightning since, so we will hope that things kind of continue on here and that the things continue to shape up to allow us to get it started tonight for J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. It is 5 minutes past the 7 o'clock hour here on WMIX. So glad you could join us tonight. Chris Hugo and Denny Czerwinski alongside as we see Waltonville Spartans basketball coach Brian Gammer make his way into the venue. Of course, got his basketball schedule this week, and I believe is one of them. We will not release it publicly, of course, but that just means it's almost time to plan the award-winning WMIX basketball showcase. That'll be making its way to the airwaves sometime in November. We figure the Spartans be an integral part of that schedule, as will the Woodlawn Cardinals, Weber Trojans, Wayne City Indians, and Cesarville Red Devils. So that'll all be coming your way before we know it. We're going to take a break on your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. When we come back, plenty more to talk about. It's High School Football Friday in Southern Illinois. This is Rams Football, powered by Community First Bank.
High school sports are back, and your source for scores is WMIXsports.com. Also, find archived local sports broadcasts, video highlights, national sports headlines, and more right at your fingertips. Listen and watch live WMIX sports broadcasts from your desktop or any mobile device. Need a score? Want to see a sick dunk? Miss a game? Didn't get up in time for the Saturday sports show? That's right, it's all at WMIXsports.com. Another free service from Withers Broadcasting, WMIXsports.com. At Banterra, we understand that banking is a relationship. It's a friendly face that knows your name, understands your needs, supports your goals. Banterra offers a complete range of personal and business banking products with competitive rates and loans that range from small projects to multi-million-dollar opportunities. We offer conveniences such as online banking, mobile banking, and direct deposit. For a strong community bank with exceptional customer service, Banterra is a smart choice for your banking needs. Banterra Bank, a proud supporter of Southern Illinois high school sports. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
What does technology sound like? Is it the clang of heavy machinery, the beeps and chirps of an electronic gadget? At the new Good Samaritan Regional Health Center, technology sounds a little something like this.
It's the sound of a young girl excited because her mom's being released the same day as her minimally invasive surgery. Thanks to the Da Vinci surgical robot, our surgeons' hand motions are seamlessly translated into smaller, more precise movements. But surgery isn't the only way Good Samaritan is raising the bar for advanced healthcare in Southern Illinois.
That's the sound of a patient's health record being updated and stored electronically for immediate access by nurses, primary care doctors, and specialists alike. That's why soon, the new Good Samaritan Regional Health Center will use all electronic patient health records. Less paper translates to faster, better care for you. And that sounds a little something like this.
The new Good Samaritan Regional Health Center. Raising a hospital, raising the bar.
Back to Mount Vernon Rams football, powered by Community First Bank of the Heartland.
We welcome you back on WMIX and WMIXsports.com. Chris Hugo and Danny Czerwinski alongside for your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. If you're going to get started here at about 7:30 tonight, so those games that aren't delayed, we'll actually have some score updates for you, hopefully, before we ever get started here tonight from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. So plenty more coming your way on the Landers Collision Center's pregame show, but it's going to be a busy night for you, of course, in high school football action, as we do have some games going on around the region tonight. And plenty of high school action for you, of course. I know in the river-to-river things are definitely going to be picking up, but the one game in the South 7 Conference not delayed, of course, is Marion Altoff, so we'll try to have some scores for you throughout the night as well. You can give us a follow on Twitter at WMIX Sports, Facebook.com/WMIX Sports as well. But we'll get to your keys to the game in a moment. We'll also get your Central Christian Church starting lineups here tonight from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium in D.C. This is one of those where it is homecoming night, so the nerves are already kind of packed a little bit. You also had some extra media focus due to the Sac Hunger game of the week, so you had a little bit more of attention to the game, plus the fact that this is going to be a big game in the South 7, so you already kind of have nerves on edge, and this all just kind of compounds that.
Well, it kind of just keeps the horses in the stall for a little longer and delays maybe some plans tonight and shortens the night for everybody. And when you look at this situation of having to be delayed, it messes with football because it takes a little emotion to get fired up for the game. And right now both teams is kind of hanging out till everything's ready to go.
Well, they are, and they're going to hang out, and they're going to have a little bit longer to wait, of course, before we can get started here tonight from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium from your WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Ford Square. Rams Athletics, of course, is presented by Community First Bank of the Heartland, and very thankful to have you alongside tonight. And this is just going to be one of those where you can't help it, so this is kind of what happens. You get a weather delay, and now we get started, we hope, at about 7:30.
You hope. I think we might get started the way the weather radar looks, starting to clear out a little bit. But, it's one of those deals. You can't mess around with this stuff right now in this day and age. And 30 minutes, and every time you see a lightning bolt, and then both teams have to remain out until that time. So we'll see how it goes and what else goes on.
Of course, Carbondale had started to make their way onto the field, and then they were kind of pushed back. They're camping out on the sideline here on the near side right now as we tell you about it. You can see it on WMIXsports.com if you're watching.
I'm surprised they're even that far out because they're not even supposed to be out anywhere near the field during this delay. They're supposed to be inside.
Well, they are, and I'm amazed that they've gotten away with that. But, they are out there, and we'll see what happens. Of course, it is homecoming night, the festivities. They'll have those, we hope, at halftime. We have all of the information to pass along to you once we reach halftime. Of course, we'll have your MVTHS minute. That one isn't under a weather delay. We'll get that at half. We'll also have your Rams report, and both of those are a little bit longer this week because it will be an extended halftime, and there's a lot more information to tell you about this week as well. We have how much money was collected last week between the Future Business Leaders of America, of course, as well as HOSA Future Health Professionals, I understand, is actually the name they go by now. They collected quite a bit of money with the Peak Out last week, so we'll tell you all about that during your Second Chance Auto halftime show coming up after the break. St. Louis Cardinals lost to the Pittsburgh Pirates today on the FM. They will have at least 4 games now. Of course, they will play with a 3:02 pregame on Sunday as they travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates. So at least 4 games to be assured of in that NLDS series. And, of course, the Braves lost to the Dodgers last night. Some AL action going on today as well. It's that time in Major League Baseball.
Well, it's that time, and that time, as you mentioned, there are some games that have started. Marion leads Altha 7-zip early on an onside kick. Mount Carmel, Illinois leads Jasper, Indiana at the end of 1-14-7. Chester has trailed. They are trailing to CZR on the road 6-0. Fairfield over El Dorado early 7-0. And Viana Goreville leading SVWW 7-0. Those are all early first quarter scores. About the only games going on. Andor have scores in them.
Well, Andor have scores in them indeed. Those are brought to you by Tony Wilt, State Farm agent here in Mount Vernon on the corner of 42nd South Water Tower. Online at TonyWilt.com. Walk in, call in, or click in. And like a good neighbor, State Farm will be there. Of course, look for that white State Farm Jeep in the parking lot. Tony would love to help your family with all of their insurance needs. If you're wondering why we're not underway yet, we're under a weather delay. Though no rain has fallen, there were bolts of lightning seen, and anytime it's within your visual periphery, of course, you will have a delay to err on the side of caution. We take a look at the Carbondale Terriers tonight as we take a look at some of the stats for Carbondale. Nick Hill is in his first year as head coach of Carbondale. They carry a 4-1 record. They are 1-1 the South Central Conference. They beat Murfreesboro 43-0 in Week 1. Showed off the firepower again with a 36-15 win on the road at Heron in Week 2. Handled Waterloo Week 3 in their home opener 40-17. Back on the road against Centray in Week 4, they fell 28-27. Beat Cahokia by a touchdown a week ago at home, 28-20. And you kind of look around the starting lineup for the Terriers, and you look no further than the leader on the field, of course. He is the quarterback, Justin Hoffman, who was under, I believe, his second or third year of starting experience, of course, between coaches Custer and Hill. And he carries a 51% career completion percentage. And quite a few touchdowns. It's kind of off-kilter here. That's what I'm looking at.
The thing I look at, and I know that a lot of people want to talk about the offense, but if you look at the Carbondale defense, they've not done anything to hurt themselves. They've done a very good job of keeping things under control. And I look at that because I know everybody goes, oh, my gosh, have you seen the Carbondale offense? Well, I think that's great and dandy as far as that goes, but when you look at it, you look at a team that's shut out Murphy Week 1, gave up a couple of scores to Heron, a couple of scores to Waterloo, gave up 28 to Centralia, 4 touchdowns, gave up 3 touchdowns to Coquette. That's not bad, considering that the offense gets a lot of ink. If the offense can put points on the board and you're holding teams with 2 or 3 touchdowns a game in this day and age, you've got something to be happy with. You've got a chance to do something, and that's kind of what has happened here is the defense is helping the offense out more than what most people are giving them credit for.
Well, more than what most people are giving them credit for, indeed. And, of course, This Terrier team, they've outscored their opponents 56-9 in the first quarter, 61-22 in the second quarter, just 30-26 in the third quarter, and then just 27-23. So if you can get them in the first half, this is a sluggish Terrier team in the second.
They remind me, especially in the playoffs, you say about starting pitchers, where you have to jump guys early. And if Carbondale gets out quickly in that first half, it seems adjustments are made on them and they struggle a little bit in that second half. If you can hold them a little bit, make them play a closer game or make them play close with you, they may or may not be able to get a lot done in that second half in crunch time. And to be honest, when they were in crunch time against Centralia, they didn't do much. So you wonder, with the finesse, there's this aura about them that they're more of a finesse team. And if you can bully them around a little bit, be physical, maybe you can do something with them, maybe push them around and get them out of what they want to do, which is up and down the field and be finesse-like.
Up and down the field and be finesse-like is the key to the Carbondale offense under head coach Nick Hill, and, of course, they're coming off the field, as they probably should have a while ago. We'll see what this means. About 6:35 on the clock. They're supposed to put some more time up when this clock expires in order to warm up. There will be no starting lineups tonight. There will be no anthem, of course, over the public address. There will be no loyalty, and that is due to the game will be starting late. So we're going to take a break here on their Landers Collision Center's pregame show. When we come back, we'll have more to talk about and get you up to date as far as this game here tonight. Weather delay for J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. This is Rams football from Community First Bank.
Strike called! A no-hitter for Gibson!
Hello, I'm John Rooney. Every time I get behind the microphone to describe the action, I know I'm talking to the greatest fans in the game. From Harry Carey to Jack Buck and my partner Mike Shannon, the history of the Cardinals on the radio runs deep. That tradition continues today. Listen game after game right here for St. Louis Cardinals baseball.
DeJesus throw to the plate. There's a play. Save!
Cardinals radio, only in...
It's Cardinal baseball on 50,000 watt, 94.1 WMIX.
What do you get when you combine the 2013 Motor Trend Truck of the Year with the best incentives in the market during the only true truck month? Hi, Roy Schmidt, Ram dealer at King City Chrysler Center, Mount Vernon. You get deals that are too good to pass up and a large selection that won't last long. Just when you think the deals could not get any better, try 0% financing for up to 72 months on Rams. Wait, I'm not done. That's 0% financing for up to 72 months plus $2,000 cash back on new 2013 Ram quad cabs, crew cabs with the Bighorn, Express, or Outdoorsman packages. Take advantage now during the only true truck month. Come see one of our associates at King City Chrysler Center at 1603 Broadway in Mount Vernon, or shop us online at kingcitychrysler.com.
You can count on us. Yes, you can.
Your future is calling. With a GED test and some help from Rend Lake College, you can answer the call. The current test expires at the end of 2013, and your scores will expire too if you don't finish and pass the test by then. Don't feel prepared? Don't worry, we can help. Visit finishtheged.com to learn more. Don't miss the chance to turn one small step into your next big opportunity, like college, a better job, and the respect you deserve. Finish your GED by the end of 2013. Questions? Call Rend Lake College's Adult Education and Literacy Department today at 437-5321.
More Americans are on the move today than ever before. One of the most popular modes of transportation is the motorcycle. Motorcycles take us to our jobs, school, to the beach, and all around the country. If you're a bike rider, your Pekin Insurance Agency, Page Insurance on Crownview in Mount Vernon, wants to make sure you have the best insurance protection while you're riding. Ask about the money-saving auto cycle discount and the experienced driver discount, too. Call Page Insurance at 242-7000 today about motorcycle insurance from Pekin Insurance.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new One account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations with 7 ATMs and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC.
Your home for the Mount Vernon Rams is WMIX Sports, powered by Community First Bank.
Powered by Community First Bank of the Heartland. Of course, this is Rams Athletics on WMIX and WMIXSports.com. Big game in the South 7 tonight between the Mount Vernon Rams and the Carbondale Terriers. We'll get underway at about 7:32, and I apologize, I misinformed you. They will actually have the national anthem, which I kind of thought you had to do, but they will have the national anthem and the loyalty, of course, here tonight. But they will forgo the public address announcing of the starting lineups and just basically tear off at 7:32 tonight as soon as they can get underway for J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. It is homecoming night, so it's going to be a long one tonight from Mount Vernon, of course. But we wouldn't have it any other way. They will announce the, of course, candidates for homecoming king and homecoming queen. Both of those genders will be accompanied by freshmen here tonight. So it could be an interesting night. We'll see how it happens. No rain yet. Of course, that could change, but it's a big night here in the King City. We'll wait to see just how the food pantry collection went as scores start to rattle in from across the region tonight. Cecil Lear, Waltonville, Woodlawn. The Red Devils have a big game against the Eagles of Vienna Goreville tonight.
Chester trails CZR 14-zip. Fairfield over El Dorado 7-zip. Carmel over Hamco 7-zip. And VG and SVWW tied at 7 in the first quarter early.
So scores presented by Tony Welch, State Farm Insurance agent here in Mount Vernon on the corner of 42nd and South Water Tower Place. TonyWelch.com is where he is online. Of course, look for the white State Farm Jeep around town. Tony Welch, get you a better state with State Farm. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski. Jeff Crow brings you the video angles on WMIXsports.com. Holly Carroll is back at our Mount Vernon studio. Our very own Avery Barton handles the public address here on location at J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. So we'll see. It'll be about 7:32 by the time we start here from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. As the Rams will take the field, they'll get warmed up as soon as this minute 5 expires on the clock, and they'll be allowed to take the field. They'll get 10 minutes to warm up, and away we'll go with high school football.
If you're out in your cars, flash your lights. We'll see how many people are out waiting for the weather to go through. I doubt, because I see everything.
We got a few over there to our left.
Got a few to our left, yeah. But this will be interesting as we see a car. Forgot about that road is blocked off over there.
That is unfortunate. That has become a slight inconvenience, of course, when you're trying to meander your way around J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium and the campus of Mount Vernon Township High School. So that they apparently had forgotten as well. I forget all the time when I try to shortcut my way around. So they went ahead and put that 10 minutes on the clock, and we'll get underway in exactly 10 minutes. We'll have your Central Christian Church starting lineups coming up in just a moment. We will also have your keys to the game tonight and also go over your kickoff temperature and weather forecast as well a little bit later on your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. Big or small, Landers fixes the ball. Mount Vernon and Salem, they expand everywhere at Landers Collision Centers. The Rams in black tonight, of course. The home team, as you can hear the crowd start to get up on their feet. We'll have the loyalty, we'll have the national anthem, and all of that coming up here in just a moment. We're glad to have you with us. We're glad you've stayed with us tonight as the Rams battle the Carbondale Terriers. Rams are 3-2 on the year. They're looking for win number 4 tonight, which would make the game way to number 5 just a smidge easier as they look to try to get in the playoffs here in 2013. But it's a tough road to hoe, trying to get 4 and 5, get the 4th and 5th win, but you should have plenty of playoff points should you get there.
Playoff points aren't the problem for Mount Vernon. Wins are. You got to get 2 more. Mount Vernon's one of those few teams in the state that can say, if we get 5, we're in because of the points. And when you have Rochester and Mount Carmel, Triad and Muscuda, and you throw in the South 7, that's a lot of points a lot of people have. So, it's one of those where you got to get 2 wins. And over the next 4 weeks, there is not a gimme of wins at all on this schedule. With tonight against Carbondale, you end up on the last week at home against Mount Carmel. Then you have 2 road games sandwiched in between at Cahokia, at Centray, and not going to be easy.
Well, of course, speaking of not going to be easy, the Rams will have some different starting lineups tonight. They'll have a replacement to make, of course, on the defensive side. We'll tell you more about that when we introduce our starting lineups. But Braden Fitzgerald, of course, could be out for quite a bit. He does have a broken L5, or an issue with the L5 vertebrae, as was on the Twitterverse and officially announced. But he'll be out of the starting lineup tonight. He'll actually be replaced at corner. So when we tell you those lineups, I think Devontae Miller-Gray returns to the starting capacity at cornerback for the Rams tonight in the secondary. So
here's the other thing here that'll mess around a little bit here is you normally can get on the field whenever you get off the bus or when you get to the park. And you can warm up, you can mess around, you can do some things. The teams have been inside as one of the Carbondale coaches. He does the warm-ups, too. That's interesting. But you get out, and now you've been cooped up like a covey of quail in a field for probably 40, 45 minutes. And now you come out, you got only 10 minutes to get through stretches, get through stuff. You don't have time to throw the ball, run plays, get prepped, refreshed from both sides of the football. be very interesting to see how these two teams come out of this delay and only have 10 minutes to get every bit of warm-up in.
Well, every bit of warm-up, as you mentioned perfectly, and that's kind of a cause for concern here tonight for a team like Carbondale coming off of the bus to get a little loose and then come back and have to go into the locker room. Things will probably start to stiffen up a bit. Will 10 minutes be enough time to get all of that worked out?
It doesn't matter if it is or not. That's all you get. That's just the way it is. And these two teams are going to have to deal with it one way or another and go from there. It's just everybody has to deal with it in their own little way.
We'll see how the Terriers deal with it. Nick Hill in his first year as head coach up Carbondale. Jared Shaner in his third year as head coach of the Mount Vernon Rams. And we'll see how things end up here tonight between Mount Vernon and Seedale. So often this is a tight battle between these two teams. The Rams pretty well dominated as of recent memory, although Carbondale snuck in a few wins here and there over the past 15 years.
Yeah, I've snuck in a few over the past few years, but a very balanced rivalry when you talk about these two schools. Carbondale won last year 35-28 in a close one. Mount Vernon won 11 here, the only win of that season. They won in 10. Carbondale won in 9, then Mount Vernon won 4 in a row, then Carbondale, and Mount Vernon won 3 in a row, then Carbondale, then Mount Vernon, then 3 Carbondale back to 96. So it's been a balanced rivalry, but the one thing about it is usually some team wins, you get 3 from the other. So very interesting to see how this is going to go here tonight between two teams that really have a lot on the line.
Well, there's a great deal on the line here tonight. Every team in the South 7 is 1-1. Barring ties, 3 teams will be 2-1. 3 teams will be a game back at 1-2. Will it be the Rams or will it be the Terriers tonight? We'll find out. Of course, the Orphans of Centralia and Cahokia Comanches are backed up as well. Marion and Alsop are underway tonight. They did not have to worry about any weather, of course. Plenty coming your way. We'll have your keys to the game a little bit later on. Your Central Christian Church Sunday night still to come. This is your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. Big or small, Landers fixes and now details them all. Ask about premium detailing for the life of your car. Next time you have collision repair work done at Landers Collision Centers in Mount Vernon and Salem, they were kind enough to donate a golf cart to the Mount Vernon Rams Gridiron Club, as well as kind enough to refurbish the other golf cart, give it a fresh set of paint. Thank you to Landers Collision Centers for their benevolence to the Mount Vernon Rams football program. So we still have about 5.5 minutes left on the warm-up clock. They're going to do the coin toss. We'll focus on that, step out and take a break. Actually, no, we won't. We have a national anthem still to come. I forgot about that. My apologies. Jumped the gun there. As they're doing the coin toss here at J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium, so we'll be able to let you know how that ends up here tonight. Don't forget, you can give us a follow on Twitter at WMIX Sports. We're on Facebook.com/WMIX Sports as well. Can't beat that video.
This is the fast, spade-up type of rules to get everybody ready to go because Carbondale with the bus trip and everything else, and they probably don't want to come back tomorrow. Obviously, you want to get it done tonight, not have that short preparation for Week 7. Everybody's out in the middle of the field here.
And we'll see how it ends up. The coin toss here tonight, will it be the Rams or will it be the Terriers taking the ball first? We'll find out here in just a matter of moments from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. Drew Hester, of course, warming up on the sideline, the powerful Rams sophomore fullback. Didn't get the updated starts, and I just kind of have a guesstimate as to whom will be starting for Jared Shaner and the Mount Vernon Rams. So we still await that coin toss there at midfield. You can watch it online right now at WMIXsports.com. Glad to have you with us on WMIX Mount Vernon. It is nearing the bottom of the 7 o'clock hour, so there we are. We've identified ourselves in the eyes of the Federal Communications Commission.
They're not working.
They're not. Well, there's a couple scattered about, apparently. They're employed via some sort of grant. Did that research today. I was hoping to leave AM 940 hot at night, but I was advised that would still be a horrible idea and a violation. So you can't win them all. Let's see if the Rams win this coin toss. It is going on right now at midfield for something that's been sped up. It's sure taking its sweet time. It looks like the Rams will start left to right. Terriers will start right to left. And Carbondale will have the football first. So there you go. Carbondale will start the game with the football. The Rams will have it the second half. So we'll see if that works out to the Rams' advantage here tonight. It certainly has thus far in this season. It worked out to their advantage on the road at Alsop. It worked to Marion's advantage last week. We'll see if it works the Rams' advantage here on a Friday night in October, the first Friday in October, and it feels like more of a late September night.
I feel like July. If it's 85 degrees in October, it's about 110 in July, the way the seasons are. This is it's one of those deals where it's different, too. And that's going to be another factor is having to deal with the heat, and that's going to be an issue as well here is the humidity, not the heat anymore at the sundown, but the humidity is going to still be rather high.
Going to be rather high indeed. Of course, we know we're going to have to go from the anthem straight to the game. So I am going to go ahead and give you your Central Christian Church starting lineups tonight. Log on to thenewscentral.com to watch their Friday night and Sunday services online and all of their ministry multimedia online at thenewscentral.com. Central Christian Church is loving God and loving people. Unofficially tonight for Jared Shaner's offense will be the quarterback Dylan Reeves. Your wide receivers tonight will be Jacoby Marshall and Doug Gardner. Running backs tonight will be DeMontez Miller-Gray, possibly C.J. Lloyd, your fullback Graham Hinkin. On the line will be left guard and right guard Alex Hopkins and Josh Borland, respectively. The center is Tyler Bradley. London Marler, of course, is the left tackle, and Eli Phillips will be your right tackle for Jared Shaner. I have the updated lineup somewhere. It was emailed to me earlier. I do apologize. For the defense,
well, you can look. Are you going to? You got it?
How about
I'll update over there while you look. Mater Dei leads Lift for Life 14-0. They have more points already after the first touchdown than fans from Lift from Life. Althoff and Marion are tied at 7 at the end of 1. It is Mascoutah 8, Triad 6 in the first quarter. It is Mount Carmel over Jasper, Indiana 14-17-1. Heron over Massac early 21-6. Murphy over Frankfurt 14-zip. AJ at the end of 1 leads Pinckneyville 7-zip. DuQuoin leads Spartan on the road at the end of 1 7-zip. Carterville over Nashville across the way in the rain 15-0, I should say, down at Carterville. It is Chester trailing CZR 14-7 near the end of 1. Fairfield El Dorado tied at 7 into 1. Johnson City over Alvarado Trico 7-6 into 1. Carmi over Hamilton County 14-zip into 1. And VG leads SBWW 14-7 into 1. That's all scores already. Of course, with the delay we've been able to get a lot more in early.
Here are your Central Christian Church starting lineups. Dylan Reeves is at quarterback. DeMontez Miller-Gray, Graham Hinkin, and Drew Hester are your running backs. Doug Gardner, Jacoby Marshall, your wide receivers. On the line tonight, London Marler, Alex Hopkins, Tyler Bradley, Josh Borland, Eli Phillips. We had that right for the most part. Just swap out a couple of the running backs there. Your cornerbacks tonight on Jared's defense, of course, will be DeMontez Miller-Gray and Jacoby Marshall. Safeties are Doug Gardner, Xavier Tyus. Your linebackers are Andrew Heiner, Jacob Williamson, Drew Hester, Tyler Knutson, Trevor Schubert, Bryton Steele, and Robert Grider are on the line tonight. As they will hear the Mountford and Loyalty. Central Christian Church, of course, brings you the starting lineups tonight. TheNewsCentral.com. Log on to watch their worship services online. Find their amazing multimedia, of course, at TheNewsCentral.com. Central Christian Church, loving God and loving people. And since we're going to have the anthem and then go right into gameplay, probably need to get the keys to the game tonight, of course, for tonight's matchup between the Mountford and Rams and the Carbondale Terriers.
It's a homecoming theme. First of all, you got to pay to get into homecoming a lot of times. So what Mount Vernon needs to do is make Carbondale pay by being physical with them on both sides of the football. A couple dances happen at homecoming. You have the slow dance or the fast dance. Mount Vernon needs to be the slow dancers tonight. Don't get any fast dance with Carbondale up down this field with their offense. You don't want to get in a shootout with them. Main thing about homecoming week and homecoming is to have fun. Rams can't pressure themselves by saying, oh, my gosh, we've got to win this one home. We can't lose 2 in a row at home. We can't do this, can't do that. Just have fun. Don't pressure yourself. Have fun and enjoy the experience and get a win here tonight.
Get a win here tonight, indeed. And those are your keys to tonight's matchup on homecoming night between the Mountford and Rams and the Carbondale Terriers. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we should have kickoff here from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
This is Chase Landers with Landers Collision Centers. It's been said that in order to grow, you have to change. Very rarely anymore do insurance companies ask the phrase to go out and get 3 estimates. The new phrase insurance companies are asking is, would you like to take your vehicle to one of our direct repair facilities? This is a way for your insurance company and collision repair center to help relieve the stress you may have from your unfortunate incident. And, as Landers Collision Centers has adapted to this forever-changing industry, we are extremely happy to announce that we are a direct repair facility for over 10 different insurance companies. It's likely that one of them is yours. From dealing with your insurance company, setting you up with a rental vehicle, lifetime warranty on repairs, and of course, Landers free lifetime detailing for qualified customers, Landers Collision Centers literally takes the stress from your incident and turns it back into a shiny new ride for you to enjoy again. Landers is here for you whenever you need us. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. 1-888-LANDERS. That's 1-888-LANDERS.
Attention all Medicare Part D pharmacy patients. The annual enrollment period begins October 15th and ends December 7th. And the Medicine Shop Pharmacy is ready to help you. Stop by or call to make an appointment with Eric Black or Tracy Adams. They'll review your current prescription plan and help you manage your Medicare dollars. Here's pharmacist and pharmacy owner Eric Black.
What we offer to our patients is to sit down with them and answer questions that they may have about their medications, really with the end goal of being to maximize their dollars, because that's, after all, what patients really want. We'll take appointments, we'll sit down with them, take as long as it takes to help them choose a plan that is effective at meeting their needs.
Remember, the good folks at the Medicine Shop Pharmacy are never too busy to take care of you. They look forward to understanding your healthcare needs and will focus on keeping you well. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon.
To call to make an appointment, call 618-242-8776. Follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
And we welcome you back. J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. We just honored America. High school football coming your way in just a matter of moments here from the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Ford Square. Community First Bank of the Heartland is, of course, the official voice of Rams Athletics. The 5 Jefferson County branches in response to quality service for all of your accounts. Community First Bank keeps it simple. Welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC. We got your keys to the game in, and we're bound to get underway here tonight. And there's quite a few games that already have some later first quarter scores, but we'll definitely have some scores pass your way in the extended Second Chance Auto halftime show tonight. There's no doubt.
Well, we'll be done, and we'll have finals, and we'll go off the air with finals, and we don't have to drag it out. We'll just tell you what's going on. Because there are scores going to be going on all the time by the time we get done tonight. And now it's time for football. Carbondale will receive. So the opportunity for the Terriers to get off to a quick start with their offense and whatnot is waiting. This is the kind of game where an offense like Carbondale will either come out ready to go, fired up on time, or they'll struggle because they didn't go through their routes, their throws, everything else. It will be interesting to see how the Terriers come out.
It'll be interesting indeed, as they're going to rely on 2 guys that I don't even have on my roster.
That's all right.
So Reeves will kick off for the Rams. Back to return, it looks like Luke Brunau will be one.
It is that time of year for uniform numbers to get swapped. Triad leads Mascout at 12-8 at the end of the one quarter. Mount Vernon guaranteed a playoff point in that one.
Yes, they are. They'll take it, too, with hopes they can get the 5 wins. Reeves is back to kick off. Kickoff time coming a little bit later than 7:32, we were told. Once the festivities get underway, it'll be a little bit offside, so actually more of a squibber. Picked up at the near hash at about the 35. Brought down to 40 as that was picked up by the Terriers, and that was a pretty good run by number 13, Nick Whitbeck.
Well, when you onside kick it like that, you're not going to kick it very far. You're going to end up with the defense having to deal with a short field, that's for sure.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Terriers. 11:55 to go in the first quarter. Scoreless thus far, opening drive for Carbondale. And let's see what the quarterback, Justin Hoffman, can do. He is 6'1", 180 pounds. He's the punter and the quarterback for this Terrier team. They'll go spread. They'll split to the left. Lionel Gaston will come out. Split left. Bursey split to the right side for the Terriers. Single back out of the shotgun here. And it's going to be a handoff coming off tackle to near hash. Brought down to 45. That's going to be a pretty good run. Nope, I thought I saw 2 number 9s. So that's going to be Lionel Gaston on the run. That was actually Jalen Williams with the left side. My apologies.
Well, what Gaston is doing is you set up things early to see how the defense will line up. That was a lineup to see what Mount Vernon will do.
Bursey, Williams, Payne, Andre, your wide receivers for the Terriers. Gaston alone back, going to come off tackle to the near hash. Racing toward midfield. It'll take a wall of Rams to bring him down, but that's where forward progress will take him. And if it is right at midfield on the spot, it'll be a first down for the Terriers with 11:25 to play in the first quarter. No score. WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by King City Chrysler Center, 1603 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Ask about their express lane, fast oil changes, and more service. No appointment necessary there. At 1603 Broadway. Out of the shotgun, single back set, spread formation for the Terriers. Shotgun will search. Hoffman will take the snap, and there's a flag on the play. It'll blow the play dead.
False start Terriers, 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15. Again, maybe a product of not getting that proper time to warm up. Maybe that's why Carbondale came out running the football more.
So it'll be 1st and 15 for the Dogs. The ball on their own 45-yard line, spotted on the near hash. With 11:05 to play in the opening quarter, no score yet from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. Williams is split to the left side. The right-handed quarterback Hoffman looking to throw. He'll roll around out of the pocket from the near hash, makes the throw, and that'll slip incomplete through the hands of number 11, Devontavious Payne. You're familiar with him on the basketball court. It'll be 2nd and 15. 10:53 to go in the first.
Hurt footsteps. He has gloves on. Can't catch with the gloves on, take them off.
No doubt about that.
That's what I always like to repeat. His gloves are on for a reason. That time, Hoffman scrambled that time. Didn't look very comfortable with the scramble.
Mark Bursey will come in the left slot. They'll put two on the right side with Williams split to the left. Fullback this time in the backfield. Is this nice stiff arm there as he got to the outside to the far hash. Down at about the 45-yard line for a no gain. It'll be 3rd and 15.
Well, Carbondale a little more successful running the football than what they seem to be. Sometimes in a spread, you get a bad reputation of always throwing the ball.
We'll see. Single-back shotgun set here for Carbondale. 10:25 to play in the first. No score yet from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. Play clock is at 7, now to 6. It'll be snapped to the quarterback Hoffman. Look at the right side for the pass. It'll be incomplete at the 45. Intended target was Jalen Williams, a senior. That'll bring up 4th and 14 for Carbondale. With 10:11 to go in the first quarter, still no score.
What the heck? Tomahawk chop broke out here. It's only good if they're winning. That's what I heard last night on the radio.
Fact. So the quarterback, also the punter, Justin Hoffman. Back to return will be Doug Gardner between the hashes, more toward the far hash. Now he scoots down central at about the 20. The kick is off. Will Gardner have room to make the grab? And he will, and he's going to go off to the races. He gets to the 35-yard line. He picks it up at about the 24. And so that'll make it 1st and 10 for the Rams from their own 35 with 10:01 to play in the first. No score.
Nice start for Mount Vernon. You stop Carbondale on downs, and you move into a situation now with the football with 10:11 to go, or minus that now after the punt. You take over, and now you'd like to get a drive. And again, Carbondale looked a little off, and maybe part because they like to throw the ball a little bit. Not having the full warm-up time may affect them early on more than the Rams.
I think we may find that out. 1st and 10 for the Rams. Ball on their own 37-yard line. Left to right they go. Split to the left and to the right. Double wingback set. Miller Gray's in motion. It's going to be an inside handoff. Nope. Reeves going to keep it himself. Rolls to the outside. Now he gets to the sideline. Pushed out of bounds at first down yardage, it looks like. From these eyes, near midfield is about the 48. We'll see if it is going to be a gain of 11. We'll see where they spot the football.
A listener has reminded me via text that the Braves are winning tonight. Glad to see they could touch the baseball after my guy took care of him with 12 whiffs last night. It was so much. They had so many whiffs last night. They didn't even turn the air on at Atlanta because it was so cold from the bat swinging and missing.
Nice. So it was an 11-yard gain for the running back, make him the quarterback, Dylan Reeves. 1st and 10 for the Rams. Ball on their own 48, spotted on the far hash. Reeves under center, split to the left and the right, man in motion. It's going to be fumbled on the handoff, but Hester will be able to pick it up. Save that for me to turnover, and then bulldoze this way maybe for a yard or two as he dove to the 49. Well, the spot will be a gain of 1 off of a broken play.
Fumbled at 10, gain 2. Back into it. Go figure. That was, they didn't even draw that one up in the dirt. It was so bad.
9:30 to go in the first quarter, just underway from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. No score. Rams on their first drive of the game. Carbondale was forced to punt. They got 1 first down, then a couple of incomplete passes, and a loss of yardage on the false start. That was all the Rams needed defensively. Looking for the quick pass. Almost, good job by Jacoby Marshall to come up with it. He's in the Carbondale territory. He caught it about the 45 to the 44. That'll be a gain of 6. Make it 7. Yeah. It'll be 3rd, 2.
And you mentioned the fact, tough play. Jacoby Marshall got in front of that. Like you say, you go get the pass in basketball so your defender doesn't tip it. He used his body. He went and got the football there to prevent the interception.
And he did a great job of blocking that secondary member for coming up and getting that interception because he had a great angle. So it'll be Marshall split to the right. It'll be, of course, Doug Gardner split to the left side. The quarterback Reeves will be under center. Your wingbacks, of course, will be Drew Hester and Montez Miller-Gray. Fullback will be Graham Hinkin. It'll be 3rd and a short 2. Did the Rams get Carbondale to jump? It would appear that way.
Let's see what the flag is. Last week it was a false start. Now we have a discussion, more discussion, more issues, and it's on Carbondale. So Mount Vernon will gain a first down on the second penalty on the Terriers of the night.
And it is an offside penalty on the Terriers. You heard it over the PA first, but it is an offside. 8:48 to go in the first quarter. No score yet. Early indication was that was going to be the call. Good thing it was. And so it'll be a first down for the Rams. Ball will be on the 38-yard line. It'll be a quarterback keeper. I have no idea what that just was.
I don't
Caught
either.
me off guard. It's down to 30.
It's hard to ignore that.
Yes, it is.
I mean, you got a freshman football player running at you. It's hard to ignore it. He was upset about something. He was going to let somebody in front of us in the front row say, hey, enough of that.
Well, somebody's mom is offended now. I know that.
Oh, you
need to play in the first. No score. Rams with the football in Carbondale territory.
You know what they say, if mama ain't happy, nobody's happy.
Amen to that. Ball on the 36-yard line, inside the near hash. It'll be the Reeves, the quarterback under center. Of course, split left and right. On the right side, it'll be Marshall. On the left, it'll be Gardner. It'll be an inside handoff. Good job. It'll be DeMontez Miller. Great, nice little spin move inside the 30. Still on his feet about the 25. Trying to hang something about the 20 between the hashes. Wow. It's going to take 9 of the 11 Carbondale defenders to bring him down, and that'll be first down yardage for DeMontez.
He had a little Xbox move to get free on that, then got the first down run for 15 yards, a little circle triangle, and a little move with the wrist, of course, in these days. And, of course, he gets the first down 15-yard run. And remember, this drive started back on the Ram 35-yard line as the Mount Vernon establishes themselves with the offensive line once again.
Community First Bank of the Heartland is the official voice of the Rams here on WMIX. 7:39 to play in the first. No score. Ball on the Carbondale 20, just outside of it. Man in motion is going to be Miller Gray. Inside handoff, Graham Hickett found the seam between a couple of tackles. Found a little bit of a gap. Got past the 20, maybe inside to about the 18. It'll be a gain of about 2 to bring up third and 8. 7:20 to play here in the first.
Carbondale team's a little slow out of the gate. That's my thought. They just don't look like they got the proper warm-up maybe they're used to after a while.
It's usually a quick start Carbondale team, and if the Rams can jump on them early, we'll see what happens the rest of the way. He certainly would like their chances if they can hang tough. Second and 8 for the Rams. Ball in the Carbondale 18 between the hashes will be Dylan Reeves, the quarterback under center. Double tight set. It's going to be Reeves looking to roll to the left side. He's got to break for his life here. He's going to get first down yardage. He stepped out of bounds just past the first down marker. Nope, they're going to say he stepped out just before. So Reeves, who looked like he was running for his life, was able to break away. And wow, called him Archie Manning last week, but some pretty good feet by now.
He can get away from some people. I mean, it's an impressive little job there by Mr. Reeves to play La Houdini on people. Magically goes down the sideline, but again, the drive is continuing for the Rams.
That it is. No score yet here from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. 6:46 to play in the first. 3rd and 3 for the Rams. Ball on the Carbondale 13-yard line. If you're just joining us, we got started about 7:37 tonight due to a weather delay. No rain here, but did see some lightning. Of course, rules are rules. Or as they say in some places, rules is rules. What to the right and to the left. The Rams will have Miller Gray in motion. It's going to be a handoff to D, and DeMontez loses the football. Looks like somebody fell on it. If so, that's going to be good hands. I believe that was Alex Hopkins, the left guard, who fell on it to save it for the Rams.
Well, and that's one of those, you can't carry that football like a loaf of bread. You got to tuck it in tight. And he had it slinging out a little bit, as there seems to be an injured Ram on the field way across the way.
So they will take a look at that young man. We certainly hope everything is okay. Streaming online at WMIXsports.com, powered by Red Lake College, where you can save thousands of dollars on your college education. Log on to rlc.edu. You can apply right now, or just take a look at those 100-degree and certificate programs. See what's going on. 6:35 to play in the first. No score yet between Mount Vernon and Carbondale. South 7 Conference action. Get some more scores throughout the
we
night.
can go some more here. Second quarter scores going on. CZR still leads Chester 20-14 in a second. Fairfield and El Dorado tied at 7 in a second. JC over ET 21-6 second. Karma over Hamco 21-6 in the second. And SVWW leads Fiji 15-14 in the second. Alsop leads Marion 9-7 in the second. Mount Carmel at half leads Jasper 21-14. Tried over Rascutin to 112-8. Heron over Massac 28-6 second. Murphy over Frankfurt 20-0. AJ Pinckneyville 7-7. DuQuoin over Sparta 7-0. And Carterville over Nashville 30-0. Those are all second quarter scores. Right now it's a race between Cokia, Centralia, Benton, Harrisburg, Mount Vernon, Carbondale for the start of their games.
There you go. Brought to you by Tony Wilson, State Farm Insurance. 0-0. No score here. 6:30 to play. 4th and 4 for the Rams on their 14. Fade right on the flag pattern. Will it be completed to Jacoby Marshall to fall incomplete outside the end zone? And the Rams will turn over on downs after having a great opportunity. And I think what had happened on that fumble is DeMontez kind of saw pay dirt and forgot the football.
Well,
I mean, that'll happen.
And he didn't have it tucked real well. It's one of those deals where you got to tuck that football, and Carbondale holds on downs at their own 14-yard line. So Mount Vernon at least changed the field position a little bit, put Carbondale deeper in their territory. But, boy, you hate to see a drive like Mount Vernon had going, an opportunity to possibly get a touchdown or get some points, go by the boards.
So the Terriers will have it 1st and 10 from their own 14-yard line. 6:23 to play in the first. Rams went for it on 4th down. Got in for that end zone and came up just a bit short. It'll be Hoffman, the quarterback, out of the shotgun. Single back set on an end around. Here comes Mark Percy. He's deep in the backfield. He'll be brought down for a loss at about the 11-yard line. Unofficially a loss of 3. He'll bring up 2nd and 13 as the clock will roll with 6:13.
Carbondale trying to stretch a little bit, stretch that field, and Mount Vernon was up for the task. It's very interesting to see that.
Community First Bank of the Heartland is the official voice of the Mount Vernon Rams, and, of course, glad to have them aboard. Always bank on your hometown team. Community First Bank, home of the one account featuring free checking and high-yield interest. Member FDIC. Hoffman out of the shotgun, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. He's going to roll to the right side, looking to pass. Had a short little dump-off available. Williams looks like he held on. Yep, and it's a completed pass just outside of the 30-yard line at about the 28. So it'll be a gain of 17, and that'll be first down yardage for the Terriers through the air.
Well, that's a start that Carbondale is looking for. And now they're getting in a rhythm.
They have outscored their opponents, and it's not even close in the first half. Out of the shotgun is Hoffman. It'll be a handoff to Gaston, looking to break to the outside. He's past the 35 at the 40, finally tripped up. Looks like Doug Garner got the trip. And it'll be to about the 40. Wow, it's a great spot. No, okay. I was going to say, going back to the 42. It'll be a gain of about 14 on the ground. It'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Terriers with 5:29 to play.
2 big plays. Talked about it last week with Marion. There's 2 big plays for Carbondale to get out of the shadows of their own goalposts.
5:23 to go. First quarter action, no score. And it's going to be another handoff to Gaston. Why not as he tries to go off tackle to the right? Brought down in a hurry for maybe a gain of 1. I thought I saw a couple of Rams in there. I know I saw number 73, Brighton Steele, among the leaders in tackles on this Rams team.
Saw Mount Carbondale. A lot more in between the tackles. Nick Hill, obviously a football vet, understands the value of having football running between the tackles.
4:57 to play in the first quarter, no score. Play action for Hoffman. He is going to be snipped out, and that's going to be a big sack, giving him a big chase with Robert Grider. And it'll be 3rd and very long for the Terriers, still with no score and 4:44 to go in the quarter.
They were looking. He had a couple of options, one rolling out with him to the right, and, of course, he had a guy streaking down the middle of the field that was double covered. Mount Vernon, 2 deep safety there that time, covered him up, and Mount Carbondale quickly, no options, quickly going back to the huddle and ready to go here with the no huddle, actually.
Sherrare Lark will be sent to the left spot. Say that 3 times fast. Hoffman's back to pass. The backfield empty out quickly. He's on his feet now to the option. Rolls on that far hash, rather. Didn't get much on the play. Maybe a gain of 1 to bring up 4th and long.
And we got somebody was nicked up.
So we'll see what's going on over there. But either way, it's 4th down and long for Carbondale. 4:15 to play in the first quarter. And this Carbondale offense just can't seem to find that rhythm yet, though they have had 1 big play on the night.
1 big play.
I didn't see a flag on the field, but they're talking.
They're talking about it.
Don't forget, we are on Twitter at WMIX Sports. My apologies.
Well, obviously on Mount Vernon. And that's 5, and that's 10. What do we have? A defensive hold on Mount Vernon, which will end up being a 1st down. You don't see that very often at the high school level, but you just did.
So it'll be Carbondale football, ball on the 46-yard line. It's spotted on the far hash. The down marker says 3rd. We'll see what happens here. Is this going to be a handoff going to the outside? It'll be a gain maybe of 2. So it'll bring up 4th down again. We apologize for the confusion.
Well, look to me.
4:05 to go.
From where they're at, being it's a holding penalty. Didn't make any sense. Now it's 4th down. Okay, get that flipped. We don't need a Colorado-Missouri game going on here.
I had one a year ago. 4th and 5.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I forgot about that.
Yes,
yeah,
you did.
And, ground rule home runs. How did I forget?
On the punt is the quarterback, Hoffman. Rams almost got to it. That's going to be well over the head of Doug Gardner, and that's going to take a Carbondale death as far as the bounce is concerned. It'll curl around like a balata ball to about the 6, 7, 8 yard line. I don't know. I was just looking for something different.
Holy cow, balata.
Yeah. Back in the Pro V. Poor college student days.
Let's get Pro V here. Kick balata out.
Top flight action.
Holy cow, dude.
Poor college days. I haven't golfed in 5 years.
I'm trying to help you. Listen.
Of course, that could have just been because I had an awful swing. Might have been part of it. 3:34 to play in the first quarter. Rams will have it first down deep on their own 7-yard line. Ball on the far hash. Split to the right side. Jacoby Marshall. Split to the left side, of course, will be Doug Gardner. Double wing back set with the quarterback, Dylan Reeves, under center. Carbondale stacking the box. It's going to be a handoff coming off tackle. It fooled me. I thought it was going to Graham Hinkin, who would have had a nice break for it, and that's why, because they focused on the ball carrier who went to the left sideline. Fooled me. Wow. Of course, I got one eye on a window pane. And
Carbondale right now, 11 guys within the box, which is within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. Mount Vernon's going to have to do something outside the shadow of their own goalpost in order to get something going for them offensively. You can't run against that kind of blocking.
Splits the left, Gardner on the right. Jacoby Marshall, Reeves, the quarterback under center. 2nd and 9 from the 8. It was a 1-yard gain that time, and I don't know what just happened there, but a couple of bumping around. Reeves ends up with it. He'll carry it about 6 yards, maybe 5 or 6. So it'll be 3rd down and about halfway there for the Rams at the 3:20 mark of this scoreless first quarter.
This is a defensive slugfest early. That, to me, would favor Mount Vernon, slower pace. But both defenses very stiff here early on.
So it'll actually be 3rd and 1. My apologies. 3rd and 1 for the Rams. First quarter action will drop below the 3-minute mark here. No score between the Rams and the Carbondale Terriers. It's all been presented by Community First Bank of the Heartland. 5 Jersey County branches and that exclusive one account. We'll tell you more about that throughout the night. Carbondale got a bit of an early start, but this will be a nice push here on the quarterback keeper. Should be first down yardage for the Rams with 2:45 to go in the first. So no score yet. Rams and Carbondale, South 7 Conference matchup as the band will get on their feet here for first down.
Cowbell. Can't have enough cowbell.
No, you can't. It's a good cure for a fever. It's a great prescription. 2:42 to go in the first. No score. Mount Vernon, Carbondale. Centralia hosting Cahokia tonight. Marion and Altough, of course, doing battle. Rams on the road to Cahokia next week. They've hung tough with Marion and Carbondale so far. As this is going to be a handoff, there's a flag on the play. It's high in the air. Almost hit Drew Hester on the run. He breaks the outside, puts the head down about the 35. I think this one's coming back on a hold.
Yeah. We'll see where the flag is at. The flag is, if it's a hold, it'll be a 12-yard penalty based on 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Motion, it'll be 5 yards. It'll be a 7-yard penalty. Mount Vernon dodges a little bit of a bullet.
As Hester did break to the near sideline. Drew Hester. 2:19 to play in the first quarter. No score yet from Mount Vernon. The Rams and the Terriers tonight. With some more Tony Wells scoreboard updates throughout the evening. We've actually been on the air now for about an hour and a half, but still in the first quarter. 2:19 to go. It'll be 1st and 15 for the Rams. The ball will go back to, should be the 11-yard line. The clock stops at 2:19. They're talking it over, of course, in the huddle with the white hat. And now things will get rolling.
How hard is it to decline it? Or accept it, I should say, move back 5.
They're in the Mount Vernon huddle, which is what confused me. Is this going to be the quarterback Reeves? They're going to run a similar play. This time it's going to be to Drew Hester. No, it's going to be Drew Hester again. Gets to about the 20 for a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 11. As Drew Hester comes up with a big carry there, it gives the Rams a little bit of room here on 2nd down with 1:55 to go in the first.
Kind of gives Mount Vernon back what they lost. Altough and Marion going back and forth in Williamson County.
Ooh, give him a nice dive. Give him his jersey number of 22 as far as the spot. So it'll be 2nd and 9 now for the Rams. 1:39 to go. It'll be split left Gardner, split to the right Jacoby Marshall, double wing back set. Miller Gray, Hester, and Graham Hinkton tonight. Quarterback is Reeves. Looking for a quick pass. It'll be incomplete to Doug Gardner. Looked like he had it and dropped as he tried to turn with it.
Yeah.
It'll be 3rd and 9 with 1:28.
He had the I want to go before the ball got caught first look. And that's what happened.
Dylan Reeves doesn't have many incompletions on the season. Completion percentage well above 50%, which I think you have to consider to be pretty good for a high school athlete. This Rams do here. They're going to go with Grider, Miller Gray, and Henkin in the backfield. Split left and right, 3rd and 9. Let's see what the Rams do here with the quarterback Dylan Reeves under center. There's going to be a handoff to Miller Gray, it looks like, and he is going to get past the 25, inside the near hash to about the 27. Gain of 5 will make it 4th and 4. So the clock will drop below a minute here. The Rams are going to punt.
Yeah, not much going on. Not much happening offensively for either team here. Stymied.
Well, this will be the first time this season, at least the first time in a while, Carbondale hasn't outscored their opponent in the first quarter.
Well, first
at least
quarter's
not yet.
over.
As this will be a nice punt. It'll take a Ram bounce out of bounds. As it stayed in bounds, hugged and tightrope that sideline. It was inside the 20 when it went out of bounds. They're going to say the 22. I had a pretty good view from where I sit. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 22 for Carbondale. We'll see if they can go 78 yards in 47.6 seconds here in the first quarter. Otherwise, a streak may be over for the Terriers. No score here in the first. Chris Hugo with Andy Czerwinski alongside. Jeff Groh with us for WMIXSports.com video. Holly Carroll is back at our Mount Vernon studio. 47.6 seconds left in the opening quarter. And again, no score. About all you can say.
It's a defensive battle early on. Maybe the lack of warm-up stymieing both teams early on.
We'll see what happens. The handoff is going to go to Gaston. Looking to go up the right side. Looks like he may have slipped, but stayed on the corners of his ankles to get to about the 25 for a gain of 3. If that's where the spot is, it'll be 2nd and 7. Could be 2nd and 8 here for the Dogs. With 35 seconds left to go in the first. Play clock will start, so they'll have to get a play off before the first quarter ends. Shotgun spread here to the left, to the right. Running back is going to be number 9, Lionel Gaston. Often, look at the pass. He's going to be chased around, flushed out of the pocket, coming to the left side. He's going to make a nice move to the outside at the 30. Feigned a throw at about the 31 and steps to the bounce with first down yardage. Just passed right at the 35-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 10. It'll be 1st and 10 for Carbondale with 14.8 seconds left to go in a scoreless first quarter.
Wheels move, and they go round and round. Hoffman shows he can get it done running, too.
That quarterback run has been something that's plagued the Rams thus far this season. 14.8 ticks left. Now the clock will start out of the shotgun. The quarterback Hoffman looking deep downfield. Miller Gray, nice defense there, was looking back at the football and unable to come up with it is Shamark Bursey. Clock will stop with 9.7 seconds left. This is on the far side. It's about the Ram 30, where it fell incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 now for the Terriers with no score. Waning seconds of this first.
Carbondale only one complete pass out of 4 attempts.
It's probably the most shocking part of it.
Well, just the fact they can't get anything going is the shocking part. Credit to Mount Vernon defense here.
Rhythm not a dancer tonight on homecoming night. 9.7 seconds left, no score. Hoffman, the quarterback, out of the shotgun, looking to dump it off. He finds Gaston, almost tripped up. Somebody's going to have to get him in there at the 40. But he pushed ahead to about the 42, if that's where they give him the spot. That's where the knee landed. He didn't stretch it out when the knee hit. We'll sort it out when we come back for the second quarter. No score here for J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. This is Rams football powered by Community First Bank.
Continuing to support us over the past 5 years. If you have never sat down with someone to go over your insurance program, let me invite you into our office. Let us show you what working with the industry leader, represented by a local agent, can do for you. I'm located just off 42nd Street. You can reach our office 24 hours a day at 242-1421 or on the web at tonywilt.com. Thanks again, and go Rams.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new One account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations with 7 ATMs and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC.
Broadcasting live from the WMIX mobile studios, driven by King City Chrysler. This is Mount Vernon Rams football.
On WMIX and WMIXSports.com. Of course, this is WMIX Mount Vernon, a free service from Withers Broadcasting. We start the second quarter. Out of the power I, it'll be Carbondale football from their own 43-yard line. This one's not going to go for much on 3rd and 2. Don't think they even got a gain, so maybe a no-gainer if the Terriers are lucky. Scoreless first quarter as we're 8 seconds into the second. This will be a loss of 1, so they'll bring up 4th and about 3. See if the Terriers go for it. You might as well. Or maybe not. They might punt. You never know. Gardner's going to back up just in case. We'll see what happens. The Terriers and Nick Hill are going to talk about it. They'll take a timeout. It's presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Of course, Dr. Eric Black and staff proudly support the Mount Vernon Rams and support the community yet again. So on 4th and about 3, Carbondale's going to talk about it here. I think there's many options you have.
Well, there are several, but you don't want to do anything silly. And that's the thing. You do not want to do anything silly here in your own end and give Mount Vernon an opportunity to maybe do something or take it into the end zone this quickly. And for Mount Vernon right now, you've got them dead to rights. You just don't want to give up anything big at this point that allows them to get out into the open.
11:33 to play here in the first half. No score. Mount Vernon and Carbondale. 4th and 2 for the Terriers. The long 2. Ball will be on their own 43-yard line. 11:33 to play in this second quarter. Carbondale's going to go for it. The quarterback will be under center out of the eye. It'll be split left and right for Carbondale. It'll be a handoff. This will be Gaston, it looks like, or maybe the fullback, Gary. And that's him that pressed forward past the first down marker, and that's going to be first down for Carbondale. And that was actually, nope, that was Gaston on the carry.
And there was no stopping him, that's for sure. He just kept right on chugging.
They're about ready for homecoming. They'll take the tarp off of the riser there in front of the crowd here at J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. The quarterback still at this I formation under center. Another handoff. It's going to be to Gaston. This time he found his seam looking up that left side. Gets past midfield to about the 45. That'll be a gain of 7. It'll be 2nd and 3.
As Carbondale is able to run the football, you start to get worried from the Mount Vernon perspective as to the pace that they're going at and having to bring an extra guy in the box, and then the passing starts.
10:50 to play in the first half. No score out of the eye. It's going to be Gaston again. They're looking to go left. Gaston has first down yardage. He gets to about the 35. So a gain of about 10. Either way, it's going to be well past first down mark.
Yeah, it is. Carbondale's running downhill a little bit. This drive started their own 22, and right now they're starting to own Mount Vernon up front.
I formation's been what's working. The tailback, of course, is Gaston. Split to the left and to the right. They're going to go play action. Looking to the right side for the pass. Ooh, it's going to be completed about the 30. And stumbling was Mitchell Lauder, of course, a senior. He played baseball. And with 10:15 to play in the first half, it's scoreless, but Carbondale threatening for 6.
Kraft Demons got him, tripped him up, or he might have had some room. He had a lot of grass to run in and freed him.
Follow me to freedom, Charlie Steiner. One of the best Sports Center commercials of all time. 10 minutes to play in the first half. No score for Mount Vernon. The quarterback, of course, Hoffman under center out of the eye. It's going to be the fullback again. This might be Gary with a number change from 3 to 44 as he went off tackle up the near hash. It's maybe a couple on the play.
Mm-hmm. I'm impressed right now with Carbondale. They are really doing a good job of running the football, and I think that's important to note here for this team in this game.
3rd and 4 out of the eye for the Terriers. It's going to be an inside handoff to Gaston. Gets inside, let's say about the 27, but they may back it up to the 28. So that's going to give them another Carbondale first down. 8 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour here. Still no score, but 9:16 to play in the first half. Always bank on your hometown team. Community First Bank, home of the one account, featuring free checking and high-yield interest. Member FDIC, Carbondale gone in a hurry. And then it's going to be fumbled, but they're going to stay down by contact, apparently. Oh, no, it was a pass in the air.
Yeah, pass in the air, and
looking at the read.
8-yard pass, and the ball, the guy was down but on contact. That's why the fumble came out. And right now, Mount Vernon's finding himself in a little bit of trouble here because This is the 13th play of the drive, and they have not done a very good job of stopping Carbondale.
2nd and 10 for the Terriers. Split to the right side. It's going to be Bursey. And this time the quarterback's going to run for himself. Rams really don't see him. Finally breaking away is DeMontez Miller-Gray from his man. And that's going to be a gain of about 2 or 3. It'll bring up 3rd and about 7 with 8:55 to play in the first half. Still no score from the King City. We're the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Ford Square. Check out the incentives on the all-new remaining 2013 Ford F-150s at Ford Square, 1501 Broadway. Ed Mount Vernon, as Devontavious Payne will check in. Mitch Lauder will take a seat. It'll be Payne, split to the right. In the right slot, it will be Shamark Bursey. They'll go Williams split left with Larks in the left slot. Back is going to be Gaston. There's going to be a flag on the play to blow it dead.
Comes from the outside. On Mount Vernon.
Okay.
5-yard offside lineup. Okay. Interesting. Mount Vernon now 30 penalties, 22 yards. Marion leads Alts off at the half, 18-16. Very similar to what we saw.
This will make it 3rd and 2 for the Rams. 8:29 to play in the first half. Quarterback out of shotgun, same personnel. Clock will start to wind here. It's an 8:26 play clock at 22. Off and out shotgun, and he's going to give it to Gaston. Gaston's going to roll right up the middle, unscathed pretty well for a touchdown. So it'll be a 15-yard touchdown run for Lionel Gaston up the middle to make it 6-0 Carbondale.
Yeah, pretty easy, Chris. And that was untouched. Touchdown, first down, and Carbondale gets out on top on the Gaston run play. Up the middle, fullback dive, nobody touched him. And that is a back-breaking drive that teams lust for, to try to have that all year when you have something like that.
Terriers killed quite a bit of clock. About 4 minutes and 30 seconds, or give or take. Not good at adding time.
14 plays, 4 minutes, 78 yards. And the kick was good, and it's 7-0. That is an impressive football drive by the Terriers.
Something to recognize, but if you're looking for an award to recognize an individual, team, or other accomplishment, check out Winning Edge's fashionable line of plaques, trophies, medallions, glass, and acrylics. Visit winningedgeusa.com for more information. 8:17 to play in the first half, 7-0 your score, Carbondale on top. Rams do get the football to start the second half, so killing some clock and getting the score would be of the utmost crucialness.
Well, you want to definitely get a score, but another thing is you got to give your defense a little bit of a rest. That was a drive there. When you have your defense on the field that long, that doesn't help well at all. And a very impressive drive by a Carbondale team that doesn't get a lot of pub for being a physical team. They are definitely being the more physical team here tonight in this one.
As the Rams are going to look at their first kickoff tonight. 8:17 to play in the second quarter. 7-0 your score. Let's see what the Rams can do. Will they kick it to Miller-Gray? Or the other deep man, who would traditionally be Braden Fitzgerald, but of course he's out due to injury. Is that Meredith? Looks like it could be. Or via Meredith. As we wait, the Carbondale kickoff up 7-0 on the touchdown run by Gaston. This one's going to be a worm burner on the ground. Marshall almost had a piece of it. Picked up the ground ball. Will be Miller-Gray. Goes for the scoop pass. He breaks a few tackles between the hashes. Brought down to the 40 as he lunges forward, getting to about the 38-yard line, or excuse me, the 42-yard line, where the Rams will have it first and 10. Some decent field position.
Well, and that's what you need. You need something like this to keep something going. And for Mount Vernon right now, it's a must win, must drive here. Obviously, must win, but a drive you got to have to kind of give your defense a rest and march the football down the field a little bit and give them taste their own medicine.
8:09 to go in the first half. First and 10 for the Rams between the hashes, actually just inside the far hash, on their own 42. So the wingback set, but they'll have Marshall on the right side, Miller-Gray in motion, looking to come to the near side. It's the strong side, looking to go back the opposite way, and he'll be tackled for a big loss, as there is no escaping that at about the 25. And that'll be a huge loss of at least 17 or more, depending upon the spot.
Well, they're going to throw it right down where they had him at unless something happens. Now, the official's saying at the 30, so Mount Vernon catches a break here, a 12-yard loss on the play, And that's a mistake. You cannot do things and try to make something out of nothing. When you run that far in the backfield, you're going to get caught. And that time, that's what Mount Vernon did.
2nd and 22 for the Rams. 7:36 to play in the first half. We'll have your Second Chance Auto halftime show coming up after the break. We'll have your MVTHS minute as well as your Rams report. Split to the left and to the right. On the left is Gardner. They're going to look for the quick pass to Gardner. Completed the 35, trying to lean in. Has a couple of guys bringing him down at about the 38-yard line. A gain of 8 would make it 3rd and 14. With 7:15 to go in the first half.
You have some danger here. You don't want to do anything here too silly, but you also got to get decent yardage here on this 3rd down if you want to think about going for it on 4th.
They're going to split Marshall right, left it'll be Gardner. Backs are going to be, looks like Hester, Hinken, and Grider. They're going to try to lob downfield. Nobody sees it. Who was that going to? Jacoby Marshall was stopped at about the 45, couldn't go anywhere, and that'll fall incomplete for 4th down.
He cut his route off. And when you do that, you're asking for trouble for your quarterback, and he stopped his route. The quarterback threw the ball where he thought he was going to be, and that's how you end up with interceptions a lot of times.
So the Rams will have to punt.
In the worst scenario, Chris, a 3 and out.
With 6:48 to play in the half, now Carbondale sends a man back to return. As this one was almost blocked. This is going to be a deep punt, good punt by the quarterback, Dylan Reeves, and this one will bounce out of bounds at the 21-yard line. I saw it this time for sure. There we go. So 1st and 10 at the Carbondale 21 for the Terriers. Plenty of clock left. 6:41 to play in the first half. Carbondale on top by a score of 7-0. If you're watching online at WMIXsports.com, it's powered by Ren Lake College, who can save you thousands of dollars on your college education. See how and apply online at rlc.edu. Man, oh man, we got some scores rolling in. We'll get to those in just a moment. This will be 1st and 10, Seadale. Ball on their own 21-yard line on the near hash. 7-0, Carbondale on top. Brought a decent crowd tonight on the Sack Hunter Food Drive night.
Kind of like the home team should win that one every time.
You'd like it that way. See what the Rams were able to do here. Going to need a stop. Louder will be the fullback, of course, out of the eye for the quarterback Hoffman. It'll be Gassed in the tailback. As he found a little bit of C, now he's going to break for a run. Almost. He did break a tackle, I should say, at the 34, getting to the 36 for a gain of 15, and that'll make it 1st and 10 for Carbondale.
The sponge that is the middle of the Rams defense right now, they're running a dive in the 1-hole to the 2-hole every time, and he's going untouched up the middle for 5-6 yards, and that shouldn't happen when you run a fullback dive.
6:33 to go in the first half. It's 7-0 Carbondale. The quarterback Hoffman under center, no longer with the spread going out of the eye. Going to give it to the tailback. Gaston gets maybe a yard between the hashes, and if so, it'll be 2nd and 8 or 9 for Carbondale with 6:20 to play in the first half. Unbelievable.
Something we didn't expect, this Carbondale team putting together some runs.
We knew they had it in them.
Yeah.
But didn't expect it here. Gaston has over 650 yards rushing on the season coming into tonight. One of the stats that I received, they're unofficial. We'll go split left and split right now out of the shotgun. Double back set, 5:55 to play in the first half, and this is going to be play action flag on the play, looking for the dump off. It's complete to Louder at the 40, gets to the 45, brought down at about the 42-yard line. If it holds, it's a gain of about 5. We'll see what the flag is in the backfield. It's going to be a false start on the Terriers. This will make it 2nd and 13. Ball will be on the 32 with 5:45 to play in this first half.
Yeah, break. At this point, you just feel like Mount Vernon needs to get out of the first half and get to halftime and get regrouped. You just want to be down a touchdown at this point.
If you can get the football back and get a score, obviously that'd be the icing on the cake. Easier said than done. Ram cheerleaders tonight, of course, wearing away football uniforms. In support of the football team here tonight. It is homecoming night from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. Homecoming dance will be tomorrow in Shagnon Gym. Or if it's like this tomorrow night, it's going to be a balmy dance. Won't have to worry about the chaperones breaking up the close dances. It'll be steamy in there. 5:40 to play in the first half. The quarterback out of the shotgun. It'll be a lone back set. 4 wide. Let's see. Looking downfield. Nope. Going to be a run. Hoffman able to break away from some tacklers. Almost tripped up his, and that's going to be a trip up by Drew Hester, the linebacker on the outside. Gets to about the 42. So it'll be a gain of about 10. We'll bring up 3rd and 3 or thereabouts with 5:22 to play in the first half. Still 7-0 Carbondale. This was scoreless after 1. Carbondale scored on a 4-minute drive at about 8:37 left to go in the quarter. Out of the shotgun again, Hoffman. Going to go to gas to try to spin move, and that's just going to bring up 4th down. Not going to get anything on it. Good play by the Rams. The clock will drop below the 5-minute mark here. And if you're Carbondale, do you go or do you punt?
I think you got to take field position. No matter what the Tommy Hawk Chop says. Neither team of Indian affiliation will hear the Tommy Hawk Chop.
It'll be Apache next.
I don't know.
4th and 4 for the Terriers. Out of the shotgun, they're going to go for it. Split left and right, one in each slot. Lone tailback will be Gaston. Hoffman's going to roll toward the far hash, looking to dump off, and that's going to be a big hit. Will be pass interference. It will. Wow. Was hit before the pass.
Call. Tight call. But it is what it is. Judgment. I have to say thank you and move on. Mount Vernon faithful below us. Not happy with that at all.
That's a definite judgment call. Did he technically hit him before the ball got there? Yes. But it's one of those that unless you see it right with the naked eye, you're not going to know for sure.
Yeah.
He made that tough judgment call to be 1st and 10 now for the Terriers on the 15-yard penalty on the pass interference. This will take it from about the 42 beyond midfield to about the opposing 43-yard line in Rams territory. It'll be a fresh set of downs for Carbondale. 1st and 10 with 4:29 left to play. 7-0 is the Carbondale lead. Here from J.D. Shields in the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Ford Square. Community First Bank of the Heartland, of course, is the official voice of Rams Athletics. Hoffman is the quarterback out of the shotgun. And we're going to have a timeout called by the Rams. Can't blame them here. It's brought to you by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Dr. Eric Black and staff proud to support the Mount Vernon Rams yet again this season. 7-0 Carbondale with 4:29 to go in the first half. And Rams had a turnover on downs, but a pass interference call is going to give Carbondale some life.
Yeah. That's the whole thing, is you have them stopped and you can't get any momentum off of it, and that's the bad part about it. Oh, man. Benton and Harrisburg, scoreless at half. Heron over Massac, 43-13. Frankfurt trails Murphy, 28-14. AJ over Pinckneyville, 15-7. DuQuoin, 13. Sparta, nothing. And Carterville leads Nashville at the half, 45-8. These are all halftime scores. It is CZR upsetting Chester, 20-14. El Dorado Fairfield halftime. JC over ET at the half, 28-6. Carmi over Hamco, 40-6 at the half. And Vina Goreville leads SVWW 27-15 at the half. Marion and Althoff trails 18-16 at the half.
4:29 to play in the first half. 7-0 Carbondale. 1st and 10 out of the shotgun from their own 43-yard line. Hoffman looking to pass, looking left side. It's a wounded duck, but it'll be complete to Williams inside the 30 to about the 28. And that'll be a gain of about 15. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Terriers. Not much time even off the clock.
No, and just a little out pattern, settled down in the zone. Actually ran a little too far, turn around and get that pass. Good read by Hoffman.
So 1st and 10 for the Dogs. They continue to roll here. 7-0 your score. Rams trailing here in the first half with 4:10 to play. They have to start the second. Hoffman back to the pass, looking to the right side. It was batted down, partially deflected. Good job there. I think Drew Hester got his hand up. And the pass falls to complete. 2nd and 10, 4:07 to go in the half.
Hoffman did the, I'm throwing it right here. I will stare this receiver down. I will stare a hole through him, and the defensive guy will knock it down. NFL hacking going on. Matt Schaub did not get traded tonight to Cleveland. For those of you wondering when you read that on Twitter.
4:07 to go in the first half out of the shotgun. Single back set. The quarterback Hoffman looking to bring it himself. Instead, he'll be brought down by Robert Grider. Good play by Grider at the 4-minute mark. It'll make it 3rd and about 11. Maybe a loss of 1. We'll see where the spot takes.
22nd play in the last 2 drives for Carbondale. This Rams defense got to survive to get out of this halftime.
Forward progress took him to a gain of 1, apparently. 3rd and 9 for Carbondale. Splits to the right, 1 in each slot. Splits to the left.
Mount Vernon right now keeping a couple guys back now because of the pass. this might open up running, although Carbondale's went more majority passing lately.
As Hoffman looks to the left side, now he's going to throw a jump ball down the middle, and this will be out of the reach of number 7, Sharir Lark, the sophomore 6-footer, and it'll be 4th and 9 with 3:28 left in the half.
He just ran a go route down the hash marks from the tight end spot was going as the safety came up on a run fake, not a much of one. So when he got down the hash marks down to the end zone, there was nobody home but him, and that pass was just out of the fingertips.
That was a great run, great speed from Lark, because I thought he was going to have to jump out of his shoes to get to it, but he almost caught up to it near the end zone. 7-0 Carbondale, 4th and 9 for the Terriers. Single back shotgun set to low 3 to the right side, 1 split to the left. I think that's Williams on the left. Off and back to pass. They're going to give chase. They'll have to run first. Mike will be brought down. Managed to get it off. Devontavious Payne at about the 20. Shakes the tackle. Brought down by Heiner.
Wow.
At about the 15. And that is still not going to be enough for a first down.
That is one of those. You just hold your breath.
Or yeah, it will.
Yeah, it will. 15-yard pass. And with that, another first down, another 4th down executed by Carbondale here in this second quarter. Wow.
3:21 to play in the first half. 7-0 is your score with 5 Jefferson County branches and responsive quality service for all of your accounts. Community First Bank would like to be the first to say, welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC. I apologize for miscalling that. But yes, a first down for the Terriers. It'll be 1st and 10. With 3:21 to play in the first half. 7-0 your score. We have a timeout on the field, it would seem. Brought to you by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. The Medicine Shop, proud to support the Mount Vernon Rams and the local community. Of course, Dr. Eric Black and staff there at the Medicine Shop. So they talk it over here. Plenty of scores to be found on the Twitterverse at WMIX Sports. If you want to give us a follow, don't even have to follow us. Just find us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook as well.
Mm-hmm. And this hot, steamy night, negating a few things, but not much. But Carbondale right now is number 29 for Carbondale, going to the Mount Vernon sideline for help, Tyrell Robinson. And he carries the injured Terrier across the field, Devontavious Payne.
Oh, I didn't see you on
there he is.
Sideline.
He's getting carried across the field. That's pretty impressive.
Not bad for Tyrell Robinson.
And to carry him, not only carry him, but running. Yeah. That was impressive.
Fury.
You don't see that.
Not a lot. Unbelievable. So 1st and 10 for the Terriers. 7-0 Carbondale lead. 3:15 to play in the first half. Ball in the Mount Vernon 15. It'll be on the near hash. Quarterback back out of the shotgun, keeping this Ram defense on its toes. They are exhausted. They need that halftime break, and it's extended due to homecoming. Hoffman looking to roll to the left side to pass. Drew Hester gives chase. It'll bring him down for a big loss at about the 28-yard line. It'll be a loss of about 13 to 15. As the clock continues to roll here, it'll be 2nd and long for Carbondale.
Well, why did he not throw that out? A guy like that who has that much experience knows when he gets outside the tackles, you can check that thing down the field. Who cares if it hits anything? And not good.
It'll be 2nd and 22 for Carbondale. 2:34 to play in the half. 7-0 Terrier lead. The quarterback Hoffman out of the shotgun. Split to the right will be Shamark Percy. 2 on the left. Of course, 1 in the right slot as well. Single back shotgun set. Hoffman looks to the left side. Going to throw down the field. Couple of Rams to beat here, and one could argue offensive interference, but it wasn't, so it'll be 3rd down and long.
Nope. Number 1, it was coverage. Number 2, the offensive guy ran into the defender, so if there's going to be anybody calls the offensive guy, he turned his headlights on, didn't tell the guy he's running in the back of him. Good coverage by the Mount Vernon Rams, both under and over coverage that time on that pass deep down the middle. It's not really a complicated scheme for Carbondale.
So it'll be 3rd and 22 now. 2:19 to play in the first half. 7-0 score. Carbondale on top, and we're going to have a timeout. With 5 Jefferson County branches and responsive quality service for all of your accounts, Community First Bank would like to be the first to say, welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC. Timeout on the field is presented. Oh, yeah. Anyhow, Medicine Shop Pharmacy, Dr. Eric Black and staff, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. They support the local community and wish the Rams the very best this season. What were you, Rob?
No, over there.
They
on that end.
Did they give a different person?
No, I just think, where credit is due. We can discuss that.
I don't think he's allowed to do that because it's somebody else making a stink about something else.
Oh, we can't do that. Everywhere else does that.
Being me.
Thanks.
The last
All right.
Well, it stopped the other thing, didn't it? 2:19 to play in the first half. Guys, now look at the advantages. And you know what else it got? It got something else, some more exposure. You took a picture
Time
of
of possession. Yeah, that's true. Time of possession heavily in favor of Carbondale, especially the number of plays run. That's another thing.
Controlled the clock, no doubt about it.
They have. For a team that allegedly goes up and down the field, they have.
3rd and 22 for the Terriers. Ball on the Rams' 27-yard line. 2:19 to play in the half. Up a touchdown. Hoffman going to have to run for his life. There's a blatant hold there. And now it's going to be floated down the field. Picked off by DeMontez. Miller-Gray at the 10. Gets to the 15. Straight back to 20. Now to the 25 between the hashes. Needs a block. He's going to get it. Gets to the 30. Now up to the race to 35. Brought down with 2:01 to play in the half. And DeMontez Miller-Gray makes defense look pretty.
Well, he did, and he did a great job that time of getting off the ball and then getting to the football and did a good job of closing in on the ball, picked that off, ran it back to the Mount Vernon 35, and with 2 minutes to go, Mount Vernon at least stays off Carbondale long enough to give their defense a rest because, man, that defense has got to be a little winded for Mount Vernon in this first half.
1st and 10 for the Rams, ball on their own 37-yard line. 2 minutes to play in the second quarter. 7-0 Carbondale on top. Split to the right side, Marshall. On the left, it's going to be Doug Gardner. Quarterback Reeves in their center. Hester in motion. It's going to be Reeves keeping it himself. No handoff. Going to take it himself, get a couple. It'll be 2nd and 8 from the 38. Community First Bank of the Heartland is the official voice of the Rams here on WMIX Sports. We appreciate them, the official voice of high school sports. How about that?
Well, on the keeper, with 2 to go, you're not wanting to move the ball up and down the field too much. Jared Shaner may be happy to be down 7-0 heading into halftime.
I think at this point, you just try to keep your defense off the field. Ooh. 2nd and 7 for the Rams. Ball on their own 39. It's on the far hash. Reeves looking to pass. He's going to look and think it deep. But this one is going to be a fade route, and it's going to be almost picked off. Unable to hang on is Alan Billinger. Of course, plays basketball for Jim Miller down there in Carbondale, and good job by Gardner to break it up.
Well, it's easy because you can catch up on it because what happened was that ball went straight up the silo, and it got a lot of air underneath it, and that, to me, was the end of that. That ball was lucky it wasn't picked off. Actually, at that point, Gardner became a defensive back to knock it out of the hands of the Carbondale defender.
That's a great job as a safety on the defense. He's got to be gassed. 3rd and 7 for the Rams. Ball on the 39-yard line. 7-0 your score. 1:18 to play, and this is going to be Reeves keeping it himself. Looking to go up the right side, just shy of first down yardage on 3rd down. Maybe a gain of 6.5.
Carbondale got on the spot. Carbondale got a timeout list. I'd call timeout here and make Mount Vernon decide what they want to do. It's not a first down, boys. Change that marker. Have one pictured.
So a minute to play here in the first half. 7-0 is your score. It'll be 4th and short here for the Rams.
There we go. See, it was interesting that Mount Vernon kept the ball quarterback keeper, then threw it, then quarterback kept again, and now you have 4th and 2. And that clock running, you wonder why Carbondale hadn't called timeout.
I don't think about that.
Yeah.
They have 2 left unofficially. As Reeves is the quarterback under center, play clock will drop to 1, and we'll have a timeout. Timeout on the field presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, proud to sponsor the Rams once again. Dr. Eric Black and staff support the local community and wish the Rams the very best this season.
That was very interesting because, Mount Vernon, like I said, quarterback keeper, long pass, incomplete, and then you go quarterback keeper. That's kind of like you really don't know what you want to do, if you want to run the clock out or try something. Then Carbondale lets time run off the clock with 2 timeouts, and Mount Vernon then calls timeout at all. Boy, you wonder where everybody's thinking. It's kind of like both teams are trying to decide if they want to get the half with a 7-0 score, if they're wanting to do more. They just can't decide to either one.
Oh, and I'm uncertain if the Rams are just thinking maybe they get Carbondale to jump off sides and get the first down on 4th and 1. We'll find out. 7-0 your score. 35.6 seconds left of the first half. A long first half. We got underway at about 7:37. 4th and short for the Rams. The ball on their own 45-yard line on the far hash with a shade under 36 seconds left to go in the half. Quarterback Reeves will be under center. They'll still have Gardner off to the left. Marshall will be tight. Quarterback keeper is going to push him across for a first down. Pass midfield to the 49, so it'll be a gain of 6.
Well, that's the first Mount Vernon first down in the second quarter.
So they'll move the chains, and the clock will continue to run. The Rams at least have to get one more play off. Trailing 7-0 and late in the first half. This is going to be coming to the near side. Miller Gray is going to shimmy around some tacklers down to about the 40-yard line for a gain of 9. Well, the Rams are going to try to hurry up now. Of course, out of timeouts with 13 seconds left. So you get trying to get an idea for what's going on. Quarterback Reeves will spike it with 4.9 seconds left. It'll be second and make that third and short for the Rams.
Okay. And at this point, with 4 seconds left, you don't have time to do a whole heck of a lot.
That's just one toss toward the end zone with 4.9 seconds left to go. It'll be third and about 1.5. 4.9 seconds left. Split Marshall off right, split Gardner off left. Ryder, Miller, Gray, and Hinken are your backs here for. What are they doing? That's going to be Miller Gray up the near side, near hash, past the 40 down to the 38. And that is how your enigmatic first half will end. 7-0 Carbondale through 2. We'll come back to your Second Chance Auto halftime show. This is Rams football powered by Community First Bank.
Rend Lake College and Southeastern Illinois College are teaming up to provide safe lane training for Southern Illinois. Safe lane training is for professionals in the oil and natural gas industry. RLC and SIC are offering this 8-hour safe lane course for only $95. Classes will be offered in Carmine, Harrisburg, Ina, McLeansboro, and Wayne City to start. Call 618-437-5321, extension 5804 for more information on safe lane training from Rend Lake College and Southeastern Illinois College.
The tradition of fine vehicles and great service continues at Second Chance Auto. They've been providing quality cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs for families like yours for over 33 years, and many are priced under $10,000. Plus, most have a 3-month or 3,000-mile warranty. Bank rate financing available with instant approval. No gimmicks, no pressure, just honest deals on great vehicles from your friends and neighbors at Second Chance Auto, living and contributing back to the community they serve. Located on Route 142 East in Mount Vernon, call 244-4582.
This is Mount Vernon Rams football from WMIX Sports. The Second Chance Auto halftime show starts now.
And we welcome you back here at the half on homecoming night. And homecoming anything but sweet as the Carbondale Terriers lead the Mount Vernon Rams 7-0. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. So glad you could join us tonight for Mount Vernon Rams football. This is your Second Chance Auto halftime show. Second Chance is your home for the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, priced at $10,000 in one location. Of course, Second Chance Auto, no fancy sales gimmicks, just honest deals and bank rate financing for everybody at Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East. And the Mount Vernon extended halftime here from J.D. Shields. It is homecoming weekend. Of course, we'll get to some scores. We can do them now. We can do them later. It looks like we'll probably stick with those here. Actually, we'll go with them now.
Harrisburg and Benton are at the half scoreless. Heron over Massac 50-13 at the half. Murphy over West Frankfort 28-14 at the half. AJ over Pinckneyville 15-7 at the half. Sparta leads DuQuoin in the third 14-13, and Carterville over Nashville 45-8 at the half. Marion leads Althoff 18-16 at the half. No score from Cokius and Trey. Non-conference Ram opponents. Rochester leads Chatham at the half 7-0. Triad over Mascoutah 20-14 at the half. Mount Carmel leads Jasper and Dana at the end of 3, 21-14. CZR leads Chester at the half 20-14. El Dorado over Fairfield at the end of 3, 22-14. Johnson City over El Dorado Trico 28-6. At the half, Carmi over Hamilton County 40-6 at the half, and Bina Goreville leads SBWW 27-15 at the half.
There you go. Those scores are presented by Tony Wilt, State Farm Insurance. For all of your insurance financial service needs, see Tony right here in Mount Vernon on the corner of 42nd and South Water Tower. Of course, online at TonyWilt.com. We're looking for the white State Farm Jeep in the parking lot. Of course, we still have your Rams report to come. We also have your MVTHS Minute on your extended Second Chance Auto halftime show. We'll also tell you your homecoming court, perhaps. First, we're going to take a quick break. Come back with Tyler Barker. He will have your Rams report. This is Rams football powered by Community First Bank.
Learn to live healthy, learn to live well, and learn how you can live free from unexpected medical expense with a major medical expense policy from Pekin Insurance and the Page Agency. Health insurance that covers hospital, medical, and surgical expenses offers a wide choice of deductibles and a non-tobacco user discount too. Rising medical costs don't have to be a problem with a major medical expense policy from Pekin Insurance. This is coverage we hope you'll never need, but you just can't be without. Call the Page Agency at 242-7000 about a major medical health insurance plan today.
Bad credit, no problem. Auto Mart of Salem is here to help. Auto Mart of Salem is your local shop here, pay here headquarters. Quality cars, vans, SUVs, and trucks in stock now. All credit applications are accepted. Shop here and pay here at Auto Mart of Salem, 1819 West Main, Salem, Illinois. Shop online at automartofsalem.com or call us at 618-548-8611.
Find us on Facebook. This is Rams Football from WMIX Sports.
Welcome back to the Second Chance Auto Halftime Show. With the Rams Report, I'm Tyler Barker for WMIX Sports. Lady Rams Volleyball took 6th place at the Heron Tournament on Saturday after returning to South 7 Conference play this week. The Lady Rams fell to Carbondale on Tuesday and Centralia on Thursday. Mount Vernon Volleyball heads to Mount Carmel on Monday. Rams Golf took a 4th place finish in the South 7 Conference Tournament. Kylan Hallam and Nick Meyer were all conference medalists. Lady Rams Tennis dropped their first duel of the season yesterday with a 5-4 loss to Centralia. The ladies did shut out Marion on Tuesday 9-0. The 11-1 Lady Rams traveled to Benton on Monday. Rams soccer lost to Marion and Carbondale on Tuesday and Thursday respectively. Now the Rams welcome Anna Jonesboro to Steve Harrison Field on Monday. After self-proclaimed disappointment in Springfield last week, the Vernon Rams and Lady Rams cross-country teams get a state preview on Saturday at the Peoria Invitational. Peoria's Detweiler Park is the site of the IHSA State Finals. That's your Rams Report for this week, and this is Rams Football powered by Community First Bank.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new One account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations with 7 ATMs and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC.
This is Chase Landers with Landers Collision Centers. It's been said that in order to grow, you have to change. Very rarely anymore do insurance companies ask the phrase to go out and get 3 estimates. The new phrase insurance companies are asking is, would you like to take your vehicle to one of our direct repair facilities? This is a way for your insurance company and collision repair center to help relieve the stress you may have from your unfortunate incident. And, as Landers Collision Centers has adapted to this forever-changing industry, we are extremely happy to announce that we are a direct repair facility for over 10 different insurance companies. It's likely that one of them is yours. From dealing with your insurance company, setting you up with a rental vehicle, lifetime warranty on repairs, and of course, Landers free lifetime detailing for qualified customers, Landers Collision Centers literally takes the stress from your incident and turns it back into a shiny new ride for you to enjoy again. Landers is here for you whenever you need us. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. 1-888-LANDERS. That's 1-888-LANDERS.
Streaming worldwide at WMIXsports.com. This is Mount Vernon Rams Football from WMIX Sports.
Welcome you back to the Second Chance Auto Halftime Show from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. Second Chance Auto is your home for the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, priced at $10,000 in one location. No fancy deals, just no fancy sales, just honest deals at Second Chance Auto. Of course, make great financing for everybody. Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. 7-0 Carbondale here at the half. You just heard your Rams report. The MVTHS minutes still to come. They're still announcing. Oddly enough, they started before we went to break and got you the Rams report. Still announcing the homecoming court here for the 2013 MVTHS homecoming dance, of course. Tomorrow night in Shagnon Gymnasium, and here it's been anything but a dance for the Mount Vernon Rams, who trail by a touchdown at the break against the tough Carbondale Terriers.
Well, it's tough because Carbondale has found a running game, even though they get a lot of pub for their passing. I think that's what's overlooked about them, and it's not been a little sweep here, sweep there. They've ran the football right up the gut at Mount Vernon at times and really have taken Mount Vernon right out of what they wanted to do.
Well, the Rams are going to have a game plan in the second half. They will have the football to start, down just a touchdown, but Rams had some opportunities, and I think the stat of the game thus far could be just the sheer fact they only had the one first down. Well, their first downs, I should say, came in the latter portion of the second quarter.
Yep, and not much. I mean, it was ball control offense by Carbondale for sure in the second quarter. I mean, and the plays ran are almost double for what Carbondale ran compared to what Mount Vernon did in the first half.
Well, I think we're going to see the tail of the tape really in those first half stats.
Well, the first downs are even at 5. The turnovers are even at 1. The penalties are even at 3.
Huh.
Mount Vernon has 37 yards of penalties compared to 15 for Carbondale. Mount Vernon leads Carbondale rushing 131-81, passing Carbondale up 59-13, which Mount Vernon has more total yards, 144-140. But Mount Vernon had more big plays early, not big plays, but a couple. And then Carbondale's had some opportunities to move the ball up down the field, but really the quick short field, the 13-yard drive by Carbondale is where 13-play drive is where majority of the yards for the Terriers came from. Other than that, it's not been much.
It's been a crazy first half because the stats are relatively even.
Right.
The scores, I mean, relatively. It's not like it's a blowout or anything. It's just a 7-0 ball game. It's just the clock management, the clock control by Carbondale has just made it feel like it's just been a blowout. You know, just it gives you that type of feeling that Carbondale's just dominated this game, even though the score doesn't reflect that.
Yeah, Carbondale's dominated because they've had more big plays, but I think in the long scheme of things, the concern in the second half for Mount Vernon is how much gas is left in the tank of the defense for the number of plays that the Mount Vernon defense had to be on the field in this humidity, and then the stress of the plays where, you know, Carbondale was able to get 2 or 3 first downs on fourth down. That breaks the will of your defense and really wears you down as the game goes along.
Well, we'll see how this second half ends up. The Mount Vernon Rams, of course, trailing 7-0 here at the half on your Second Chance Auto halftime show. Rams football, of course, we remind you, is presented by Community First Bank of the Heartland. They, of course, have 5 Jefferson County branches, Mount Vernon, Dix, Woodlawn, and Ina, and are very proud to be the official voice of Rams athletics here on your radio home, WMIX and WMIXsports.com, of course, of the Mount Vernon Rams. About 8.5 left to go in this extended halftime. They'll put 3 minutes on the clock for the sake of conditioning once that is over. They've announced the homecoming court here, of course, as seniors comprise the candidates for King and Queen. And quite a list of candidates it was. Of course, Nathan Arnold, Wyatt Capps, Jonathan Taylor Doris, Shakari Hawkins, Mac Jones, Raquel Patton, and Brett Reitnauer, of course, are your King candidates here in 2013. Your Queen candidates, of course, are Felicia Boyd, Denisha Davis, looks like Shannon Doherty, of course, and Shayna Ham, Dory Koschel, Mariah Richardson, and Molly Sager. So, those are your King and Queen candidates. Of course, a reminder, homecoming's for everybody. They will crown the King and Queen at the coronation ceremony. It begins at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Doors open to spectators beginning at 9:30. It's always awkward when you're a kid dancing and you see the spectators come in at 9:30. But a $5 spectator admission will be collected and a donation given to Paige Turner and the MVTHS Library. Assume that Paige is still sitting on the bookshelves there in C building. So 7:17 left here on your halftime clock. So about 10 minutes before the start of the second half, we need to check in with your MVTHS report. We must find out how much money was raised from Pink Out Night last Friday night. We'll also have your September MVTHS Student of the Month. It's all coming up on your MVTHS Minute. We'll take a break. This is the Second Chance Auto halftime show from WMIX Sports.
I'm Tyler Barker with a look at your next rad weather. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and isolated thunderstorms, a low of 66. Saturday, a slight chance of showers and isolated thunderstorms, a high of 84. Saturday night, a slight chance of showers and isolated thunderstorms, a low of 51. Sunday, a slight chance of showers, partly cloudy, a high of 65. Sunday night, a slight chance of showers, partly cloudy, a low around 42. Monday, partly cloudy, a high near 68. Next rad weather from WMIX Mount Vernon, Illinois.
At Banterra, we understand that banking is a relationship. It's a friendly face that knows your name, understands your needs, supports your goals. Banterra offers a complete range of personal and business banking products with competitive rates and loans that range from small projects to multi-million-dollar opportunities. We offer conveniences such as online banking, mobile banking, and direct deposit. For a strong community bank with exceptional customer service, Banterra is a smart choice for your banking needs. Banterra Bank, a proud supporter of Southern Illinois high school sports. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Here's a look at your MVTHS Minute. I'm Tyler Barker on WMIX and WMIXsports.com. While Pink Out Night didn't go the way the Rams wanted on the gridiron, it was a massive success for the future business leaders of America and the HOSA future professionals. FBLA sold special pink out merchandise and collected donations, while HOSA sold balloons to be released in honor of those affected by cancer. The Rams football team wore special black and pink jerseys. Together, the organizations will donate over $4,700 to the Susan G. Komen Foundation's Race for the Cure. The HOSA Future Professionals donation will be in memory of Betty SQ, a longtime teacher's aide at MVTHS who succumbed to breast cancer after a valiant battle with the disease just months ago. Congratulations to the MVTHS September Student of the Month. The attendance office has announced senior Brett Reitnauer as the latest recipient of the honor. Reitnauer has perfect attendance, no tardies, and a perfect GPA in advanced placement classes. He also serves as an officer on the Student Council and National Honor Society. Brett intends to major in pre-med and go on to medical school. Congratulations to Brett Reitnauer. That's this week's MVTHS Minute, where WMIX Sports explores the best in arts and academics at Mount Vernon High School. Stay tuned for next week's installment. We'll take a quick break on your Second Chance Auto Halftime Show. This is Rams Football from WMIX Sports.
PNB To Go mobile banking from People's National Bank is here. Sign up for PNB To Go mobile banking and get instant access to your account info with your mobile device. You can check your account balances, transfer funds, pay bills, review recent transactions, and much more. The best part is PNB To Go mobile banking is free.
People's National Bank, serving Southern Illinois since 1909. Member FDIC, wireless carrier fees may apply.
High school sports are back, and your source for scores is WMIXsports.com. Also, find archived local sports broadcasts, video highlights, national sports headlines, and more right at your fingertips. Listen and watch live WMIX sports broadcasts from your desktop or any mobile device. Need a score? Want to see a sick dunk? Miss a game? Didn't get up in time for the Saturday sports show? That's right, it's all at WMIXsports.com. Another free service from Withers Broadcasting, WMIXsports.com. Broadcasting live from the WMIX mobile studios, driven by Ford Square. This is Mount Vernon Rams football.
WMIX, WMIXsports.com. Back in your Second Chance Auto halftime show from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. It is the Mount Vernon Rams and the Carbondale Terriers. Of course, at half, the Terriers on top, 7-0. The Rams will start the second half with the football, of course. We'll see what they're able to do. And, of course, it was an interesting first half. The tail of the tape, but the stats was everything was relatively even. Of course, Carbondale maybe a slighter advantage. Of course, Rams did outrush Carbondale. Carbondale outpassed Mount Vernon. Of course, Carbondale outscored Mount Vernon 7-0. So there is a brief synopsis. Plenty of scores rolling in. We're keeping you up to date on the Twitterverse. I remind you, the Second Chance Auto halftime show, powered by the folks at Second Chance Auto, where they have the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles priced under $10,000 in one location. It's all at Second Chance Auto around 142 East. In Mount Vernon, some shockers in the diamond. Wow.
Well, Chester has climbed back up to 27-20 over CZR. You've got El Dorado leading Fairfield now 22-14. JC over ET 34-6 in the third. Carmine's up 40-6 on Hamilton County at the half. And then at the end of three quarters, Vienna Goreville all over SVWW 41-15, and the Benton Rangers now up 10-0 in the third on Harrisburg. I feel pretty good. I picked that one pretty well.
Well, of course, some injuries in that one a factor, but still, you saw it forthcoming, and just kind of surprised by the 10-0 score, I think, a little bit. But they were scoreless at the half, if I'm not mistaken. Got started late. Had a weather delay there. They actually had kind of a monsoon come through along with lightning. As far as here, and I'm told, and in Centralia, not a drop of rain. It was just the same lightning that we all saw come through, and that caused the delays here and up there as well. The Orphans, of course, battling Cahokia. The Rams, of course, have Carbondale. Marion and Altoff battling it out in Marion, as I understand it. So all in all, it could be an interesting night by the time it's all said and done here in the South 7. 7-0 your score at the half here from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. Mount Vernon Rams trailing the Carbondale Terriers. The Rams are making their emergence on the field here out of the halftime locker room on homecoming night. Got to make something happen here in the second half.
You've got to do something. Have to do something, that's for sure. But what it is, I don't know. I mean, you got to make a decision to be aggressive. You got to take care of the football, and then you got to be physical. I think Mount Vernon been a physical football team for 5 weeks, and then they get to week 6 and they kind of backed off a little bit. Maybe Carbondale came out and took that card away from them early. But Mount Vernon needs to get back in that physical football mode here in this second half.
I think it's just one of those cases. I thought it was something. But anyhow, it's just one of those cases where I think your keys to the second half are pretty well still the same.
Well,
as the keys to the game.
it is. I mean, there's not much that has changed. And you got to get your defense off the field a little bit more than what Mount Vernon's been able to because of the number of plays that Carbondale has ran in this game, in this first half. And I'm just looking at it going, Mount Vernon has to step up. I think, and when you're looking around, I don't think you can blame homecoming. I think you got to look on the field that Mount Vernon has been soft a little bit, maybe in that first half, letting Carbondale run over them, run things over. And I think they got to step up. This is where on their home field, Mount Vernon's got to step up and go, you know what? This is our home. This is where we should be. We played you close last year at your place. It's time for the Rams as a football unit to step up and be more physical, I think, in the second half.
Well, we're going to see what we get out of them. And, of course, 7-0 is your halftime score. Mount Vernon trailing Carbondale. And this one's going to be one of the later ones, of course, due to the weather delay. We got underway at about 7:37 was your opening kickoff. And Carbondale's pretty well controlled the clock. It'll be up to the Rams to get the start of the second half of the football. We'll see if they can maybe run some clock off and get that score. That seems to be the one thing that's keeping them thus far, is that cracking that goose egg on the home column.
That's the whole thing, is cracking the goose egg and seeing what's going on. But, you know, I'm puzzled as to some of the scores. I mean, some of these scores are interesting. I mean, SBWW sitting at home getting drilled by the Eagles, who have struggled lately. Hamilton County's losing streak will continue. JC's going to win at ET. And, I mean, you know, Marion over Alsop 18-16, nothing from Centralia Cahokia. You don't know what's going on there, if something's up, or if maybe they're in more of a delay than what we have been. But Heron's going to win easy tonight. Murphy's up big. AJ struggling a little bit. Pinckneyville, even though they lead. Sparta leads DuQuoin to third, 14-13. That's a shocker tonight. Could Sparta be the one that ends DuQuoin's playoff hope in week 6? How would that go over?
I don't think it'd go over very well.
I wouldn't.
We both
It's going to
know
be an
that.
interesting day's golf course for me tomorrow if that happens. You got Perry County circling right now because they're struggling. Pinckneyville losing DuQuoin on the verge of maybe getting knocked off. Huh. I didn't know that.
What's that?
Last government shutdown was in 95.
I don't remember that one.
I don't remember that one. They say the Braves won the World Series. I don't know if that's true. And then Hamilton County's getting beaten now 47-6 at the end of 3. So, you know,
Just amazed at this close score here. Well, amazed at the close score at the half in Centralia, with Cahokia leading 12-6. I guess I just thought more of an offensive scoring battle in this one. And so 7-0, somewhat of a surprise. So the Rams will send Meredith. So
what's that again?
What's that?
The score of the
12-6 Cahokia at the half. So it'll be Corvia, Meredith, and the Montez Miller Gray to return for the Rams. It'll be the kicker Young to kick off. 7-0 Carbondale as we start the second half of action. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside WMIX and WMIXSports.com. Follow us on Twitter. Find us on Facebook. We have a YouTube channel as well. You can watch that Rams video they made today. What day is it? MV Game Day. Kind of a play off of the infamous Geico Hump Day commercials, the national television campaign. Awaiting that kickoff. Rams have men back at the 19-yard line. This one will be a boomer end over end to the far side. We picked up by Meredith at about the 70. It's 10-15, race to the outside at the east, gets to the 20-25. Brought down about the 26-yard line where the Rams will have it first and 10. 11:52 to play in the third quarter. Just underway in the second half. 7-0 Carbondale still.
Here it is. I'd like to see it score here out of the gate. Maybe knock Carbondale back a little bit and say, not going to do what you did to us in the first half.
We need to make a statement.
That's what I said, physical.
Yeah.
Step up and say, no, it's over. You're not doing what you did in this first half.
See what comes out of Dylan Reeves and the Rams offense here. It looks like Drew Hester is going to be stuck in a slot on the left side. Split to the left will be Gardner. On the right it'll be Marshall. Looks like Reeves dialed the old number 9 as he gets to the 30, maybe to 31, gain of 4 to 5. It'll be second and about half for the Rams. 11:44 to play in the third quarter. Still 7-0 ball game for just joining us. We got started late at about 7:37. So Reeves took it himself, and they gave him 4 on the play. He's at the 30-yard line. The ball was spotted inside the far hash. Get some instruction from the sideline. We'll see if the Rams can get a score here. Man done for the night, it would appear. So we shall see. It'll be up to the music from the PA to pump them up. Hester in motion. Inside handoff's going to go to Graham Hinkin, who maybe gets a couple on the play as he gets snuffed. Dives forward. I would say lunges inside. That'd be about the 33 or so.
Don't mind my phone.
Yeah, no kidding. It's going off. I have people everywhere. Yep. 3rd and 3 now for the Rams. 10:50 to play in the third quarter. Opening drive in the second half. 7-0 Carbondale on top. Rams football presented by Community First Bank. Your community, your choice, your bank. With 5 locations and friends and neighbors on staff who understand your needs. Community First Bank keeps it simple. Welcome back to personal banking. Remember FDIC. Loaded up on the left side, trying to stretch the field. It'll be DeMontez Milagray on the carry. Gets past 1 tackle. Now breaks for the 40. Trying to come back to the inside sideline. Shy of the 45. It'll be at the 44. Gain of 10. They'll bring up a Rams first down. That's good stuff. Good start. That's what you need. Rams, of course, in their home blacks. Not all black. The way things not are some striping down the sides of the tops. White numerics trimmed in orange. Solid black helmets on the left side. On the right, you do have the new Ram decal. So 1st and 10 for the Rams. Ball on their own 44. 10:15 to play in the third quarter. Still 7-0 Carbondale. Rams trying to change that. With Marshall on the right, Gardner on the left. Hester's going to line up in the right slot. See if they go strong side. Nope, it's going to be a Reeves decoy up the middle trying to get a few yards. Might have gotten 3 at best across the 45 to about the 46. Ooh, spot's going to be unkind to the... It will be the 46.
Mount Vernon gets another playoff point. Mount Carmel has won tonight 27-14 over Jasper, Indiana.
Wait, no, they got at least 2.
Yeah.
And depending upon what happens here, 2 to 3 out of the conference tonight. Would rather have the win than the playoff point here, though.
Yep. Triad leads Mascoutah 20-14 at the end of 3. That's kind of a shock.
That does surprise me. Of course, Mascoutah beat Alsop, lost to Mount Vernon. Unbelievable. 9:40 to play here. 3 third quarter action for J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. It's a 7-0 ball game. Seeing Carbondale on top, 2nd and 8 for the Rams. That'll be Marshall right, Gardner left. Same set. Now Hester will be the left wing back in motion. It's going to be Drew Hester getting the dial. He'll go off to the right side, trying to get off to the races to the outside. Breaks the outside, still on his feet. Up the sideline, 40, 35. Bulldoze the man at the 30. He'll be brought down inside the 25, and oh my gosh, what a hit.
Write down the time, the place, the highlight. I don't care. That was the highlight of the year so far, and that is the kind of run and the kind of play that can inspire a defense and offense and the entire team when he flat ran over the Carbondale defender after that 30-yard run.
Oh, my gosh. Drew Hester leveled a guy.
I'm not telling you what to do, but that's the highlight.
You remember the movie Anchorman?
Yeah.
Where they say Brick killed a guy?
Yeah, that's it.
Not your reaction with Drew Hester leveling
a
guy.
He just ran him over. Dropped the pad. Nothing illegal. No head diving. Just a pad-on-pad run over.
My gosh. And now the tailback here runs between the middle, between the hashes, down to about the 21 for a gain of 3. It wasn't the 24, 2nd and 7.
When that play happened, look at the white shirts now for Carbondale, kind of like looking around going, what just happened? It's a play that Mount Vernon needed, a physical play that we talked about, and now they're back into it.
He's just a sophomore. He's ripped. That kid is mostly muscle. Your backs are going to be Miller Gray, Hinkin, and Hester. It's going to be double tight for the Rams. The quarterback Reeves is under center, and they're going to go Reeves rolling the pass. Nobody's going to roll to the outside. Yep, look at the pass. And that's going to be Jacoby Marshall going up for it. Doesn't come up with it. Looks like that could have been one to injure. It'll be 3rd down for the Rams.
I wasn't worried about injuries, one thing, obviously, but oh, my goodness gracious, don't throw that thing up like that where he has to go up for it and amongst traffic and about 3 or 4 people around.
WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by King City Chrysler. Check out the all-new redesigned Jeep Grand Cherokee at 1603 Broadway in Mount Vernon or online at kingcitychrysler.com. 3rd and 7 for the Rams, 8:24 to play in the third. 7-0 your score. Carbondale on top. Rams hoping to make a change. One in the slot. It'll be Hester left. It'll be Gardner split left. In motion is going to be Miller Gray. He's going to carry on a sweep. Coming to the near side. He's at the 20. Trying to get to the 25. Gets a nice block to the 15. Still on his feet. Pulled out of bounds. It's about the 14. That'd be a gain of 7. If it's not a first down, it'll be 4th and measly short. But it looks like the chains are moving.
Chains are moving. Remember, this drive started at the beginning of the quarter at their own 26. Working on a 4-minute drive right now.
Rams hoping to make something happen. 8:16 to play in the third quarter. It'll be 1st and goal on the 9. 7-0 Carbondale on top, loading up the left side. Marshall's going to be tight left. It'll be Gardner split left. Reeves looking to dial up the own number. Gets a nice block. He'll finally be pulled down at about the 5 for a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. 8:09 to play in the quarter. Clock will roll. Rams will kill clock and hoping to get in that end zone.
Yep. Wouldn't that be a nice way to start the third quarter with a big, long drive?
Did you see what Drew Hester did? He leveled the guy.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That is so highlight-worthy. I will never forget that as long as I live.
Single coverage out to the right if Mount Vernon elects to go out that way.
Side on the left. Hester in motion. I didn't see it. It's going to be Drew Hester going to get his number dialed, trying to break it into the far corner. Carbondale tried to strip instead of going for the tackle, and that's going to be a touchdown with no flags. 5-yard scamper by the guy who helped make it happen, Drew Hester, and the Rams are back within 1, 7-6.
Yep, a little run around the outside. And touchdown Rams.
C.J. Lloyd is on to kick the point after. Mr. Millwood on the hold. Rams looking to tie here. 7:35 to play in the third as they hit pay dirt finally tonight. Can they get it? More crucial than you think after last week. Here it comes. It's down. The kick is up. And by golly, it's good. We're tied at 7. 7:35 to play in the third quarter. What a great play earlier by Drew Hester. One great play. Make your own great play when you open a Community First Bank free high-yield checking account that earns cash back. Just ask for one. Remember FDIC. This is WMIX Mount Vernon, a free service from Withers Broadcasting. We're 5 past the top of the 9 o'clock hour.
9 plays, 74 yards in 4 minutes. That was needed. Kick good, 7-all. In a low-scoring game here from Mount Vernon.
I mean, there is no way to describe it other than he leveled the guy.
Yeah, he did.
I'm not even going to remember who the Terrier was until I go back and watch it again. Yep. I'm just going to remember Drew Hester absolutely leveling the guy.
At this level, you just want to remember names. You want to remember how it happened. The guy who did it, and that's Mount Vernon.
Wow. Anyhow, the Rams will kick off for the second time tonight. Haven't done so since the opening of kickoff of the contest. 7:35 to go in the third. We are tied at 7. Maybe if the Rams can come up with a stop here, maybe find themselves with a bit of momentum. Maybe Drew Hester gave them that momentum. Scored the touchdown, leveled a guy. What an early start to the second half for Drew Hester and the Mount Vernon Rams. Here comes. This will be a burner to about the 22. Picked up for Carbondale. And that's going to be a nice hit there, and it's going to be launched. The Rams recover the football. Initial contact was made up the left side, I believe, by Grider. And it's going to be picked up by number 55, Miles Tate. And you start at the Carbondale 34. Opportunity for back-to-back. Great play by the special team. And Mount Vernon an opportunity here to get something going. Looks like it was Grider in on the contact initially. He's jacked on the sideline, so I'm assuming we're right. 7:28 to play in the third quarter. Tied at 7, Rams with the football. On the Carbondale 34-yard line inside the near hash. Marshall will be off to the right. Gardner possibly off to the races on the left. Miller Gray, Hester, and Hickton are your backs. The quarterback reads under center. He's going to plow forward, and Dylan Reeves is going to get some yards on that as he gets to about the 30. Forward progress should carry him to the 30. That better be where the spot is.
El Dorado knocks Fairfield from the unbeaten ranks, 29-21.
What a great crew tonight.
Marion's up 32-16 at the end of 3.
I know many will disagree on that pass interference call on 4th down, but I mean, they nailed that call. A good spot there. Spotting's been effective tonight. I mean, often officials who do a good job don't get the credit they deserve, and this has been a quality crew tonight. Tied at 7, 6:55 to play in the third quarter. Hester in the slot again. It's going to be Miller Gray. They're going to try to come left side. He's at the 30, backing up at about the 25. Manages to stay on his feet at the 20. I don't know how he does it. He's pushed down at the 15-yard line. It's a 15-yard gain by Stretch Armstrong, the hyphen. The Montez Miller Gray down to the 15-yard line will be 1st and 10.
Momentum swung. 1 run, 1 touchdown, a turnover. It's all Mount Vernon right now. And they are taking it to Carbondale here in this third quarter.
They give them 16 on the play. So at the 14-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams. Split to the right side, Jacoby Marshall. On the left, Doug Gardner. Quarterback Reeves is under center. Your wingbacks, of course, same guys, Hinkin, Miller Gray, and Drew Hester, who's in motion. This is going to be an inside handoff to Hinkin. Ooh, nice job of Graham Hinkin stepping out of the way. Had a blocker come back near his feet. Was able to at least get a couple of yards on that. That's not bad when the line collapsed. Normally, and they do a great job not bashing them, but it's going to be 2nd and about 8 for the Rams.
Good job of seeing where to go. Got a gimpy terrier.
He does a great job. 6:10 to play. Talked to his proud grandmother on Tuesday night. Assures me that he is a great kid that I think he is. He follows us on Twitter, as should you, at WMIX Sports. Little sister plays volleyball. 6:10 to play in the third quarter. We are tied at 7. Mount Vernon Carbondale. Rams threatening on the 12. 2nd and 8. Hester will be left slot. Orlando Watson will be split to the left side in motion. Miller Gray. They're going to try to get him a carry here to the 10 inside the 5. Tried to tiptoe the sideline, but was pushed out by his own guy inside the 5. See where the spot is actually going to be. It's going to be dancing dangerously with a 1st down here. It'll be 3rd and short. At 8. It'll be right at the 5. So 3rd and short here for the Rams. The clock stops at 5:54 to go in the quarter. Third quarter action tied at 7. Watson left side. Miller Gray will be the wingback. They have Marshall tied on the left. Strong left side in motion. Nope. Miller Gray, and it's going to be Reeves plunging forward. He got the 1st down. Thought it was going to be stopped, and he's now about the half-yard line. So a gain of about 4.5 for Dylan Reeves makes it 1st and goal for the Rams.
Well,
tied at 7.
Who will be the one that scores?
I don't know, but if you're watching online at WMIXsports.com, it's presented by Red Lake College. Log on to rlc.edu. See how you can save thousands of dollars on your college education. Apply online right now. 1st and goal for the Rams. 5:38 to play in the third quarter. Tied at 7. That could change here in just a matter of seconds. Oh, yeah. And Carbondale was offside. No whistle. There it comes. Or just the Rams clinch.
Well, if it's on Mount Carbondale, it'll get half of a half of a half. Or a quarter.
Yep, it is offside. So it goes from the half-yard line to the quarter-yard line.
And it goes as a 1-yard penalty in the book.
And with 5:28 to play in the third, still tied at 7. Anticlimactic as that penalty was. Keeps the 1st down, obviously. 1st and goal from inside the 1. See what the Rams do here.
Issue. They'll reset the...
So Borland will come out, or Curie will come in. He came in for Hopkins earlier when he had to come out for a bit. Hopkins recovered a fumble and then came out for a play or two. What a great Rams offensive line. 1st and goal from inside the 1. 5:13 to play in the third quarter, tied at 1. Reeves will plunge forward, and he should get the touchdown. Everything's official. Reeves is on his feet. Wow. Dylan Reeves gets in, and it's going to be 13-7, and Rams fans are celebrating. 5:06 to play in the third quarter.
Yeah, pretty simple, wasn't it?
This is a great series for the Rams. The hometown team tonight. You should always bank on your hometown team. Community First Bank, home of the One account, featuring free checking and high-yield interest. Member FDIC.
6 plays, 3 minutes, and that covered 34 yards. Back-to-back possessions. That'll give your defense a little rest, and also a little momentum and energy as well.
Lloyd on for the kickoff. It looked good to sneak in the upright. It did. It's 14-7. 5:06 to play in the third quarter. Mount Vernon 14, Carbondale 7. Unbelievable. Well, the Rams now up a touchdown. Momentum, King City. Got to keep it now.
DuQuoin.
Nice.
DuQuoin, as we get a retweet from a friend. Yeah, he's co-working. Yeah, he figured it out. I've put him in. I've actually put him in now instead of others. But Triad is up 26-21 on Mascuda now. As that goes back and forth, doesn't matter. Mount Vernon will get a point out of that no matter what.
5:06 to play in the third. The Rams have 14 thus far unanswered points in the third quarter. What a difference the halftime locker room could make. We'll see if they can hang on to it here. Of course, Carbondale has not had a touch yet in the second half, and that's good for the Rams defense. Had the extended halftime to catch a breather. Yeah. Had the offense down the field to get a bit of a breather. Most of the guys play both ways, though. Not most, but a lot. It's going to be on the ground, picked up at about the 39-yard line. Carbondale has some butterfingers again, and that's going to be at about the 34-yard line. Falling on top, but I thought it was Tyrell Robeson. That's the gentleman, if you recall, carried Devontavious Payne across the field from sideline to sideline.
Right.
That's the stretching
of the Carbondale offense. That's actually a train, but that's probably what they're thinking.
Stop the train's right on the track. I know that.
Yeah. Koki out the end of 3 leads Centray 18-6.
The Rams defense off to work. 5:02 to play in the third quarter. 14-7 your score. Rams on top. Out of the shotgun will work Hoffman. He'll have 3 on the left, 1 on the right. Looks like that Payne back into the game on the right side. It's going to be a handoff to Gaston, sweeping up the left side. Heiner gives chase, and it's going to be a gain of about 5 as he brought down at about the 39-yard line. They might give him the 40. That's going to be a very generous spot at about the 41. That'll be a gain of about... it's going to be a gain of about 6. So 2nd and 4, 4:40 to play in the third quarter. Out of the shotgun is Hoffman. Thought I heard a whistle. Maybe not. On the right slide, it's going to be Lark. On the right side, it will be number 12, Michael Andre.
Now we have a referee coming over, looking at something, talking to Jared Shaner. I don't know what's going on. 1 o'clock at 4:48, I guess. You hear the echo in the background.
So 9 more seconds on the clock, and we'll resume action. Not sure with that. Every second can be critical, I guess. And just for the clock to start again. 4:47 to go in the third quarter. 14-7 your score. And here comes a carry from Gaston. He is dancing with first down yardage. It's going to be about 3.5. We'll see if they spot it for full first down. With 4:39 to go in the third quarter, again, Rams on top 14-7 if you're just joining us. They've scored 14 unanswered points here early on in the second half. Yep, that'll move the chains. Kind spot. Very generous. See what the Terriers can do here. Andre split to the right out of the slot. It'll be Lark. Williams on the left. Gaston is the lone back. Play action. This is going to be a completed pass to number 12, Michael Andre, and that's going to be a big tackle by DeMontez Miller-Gray to keep the gain minimal at about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
3-yard gain. You notice tonight, too, that Carbondale really, knock on wood, hasn't had a really long pass. Mount Vernon's done a good job of not only defending, but pressuring.
So they'll continue out of the shotgun. It's Shamark Bursty's left slot. Williams split to the right. The left. Split to the right is Andre. Let's see where Hoffman goes here, and it's going to be dropped. Dropped. Wow, what a drop at about the 45-yard line in Ram territory. As that was actually, number 8, Jalen Williams, and that'll make it 3rd and 7 with 3:53.
Wanting the run before daylight and before he had the football. Benton up 17-7, late 4th on Harrisburg.
Oh, my.
That was good on that one.
2 left, 2 right. Shotgun for the quarterback. Gaston, the running back, will stand to the right side. 3:53 to go in the third. Hoffman's looking to pass. Able to get it off, and this one's going to be long. And Bursty is not going to be able to get it incomplete. It'll be 4th and 7. We'll see what the Terriers do with 3:48 to go in the third quarter. Shamark Bursty plays for Jim Miller on the basketball court, at least did last year. Devontavious Payne, haven't seen him come back into the game. He's another basketball player. It looks like the special teams are going to come on. We'll see what the Rams can do. 3:48 to play in the third quarter. Hoffman is on to punt, unless it's a fake. This always makes me nervous about punters/quarterbacks. And now a flag. Illegal motion?
Yeah, probably.
Those whistles blew as soon as he took off. Exactly. There'll be a penalty on the Terriers. 3:48 to play on 4th down. That'll back things, well, we'll back it up 5 yards. It'll be 4th and 12. 3:48 to play. Third quarter action from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. It's 14-7. Just a procedural penalty on the Terriers.
5 more yards. It's not been a very fluid Carbondale team. Seems like when they head north, they can't do things right. They went to Centralia, got beat. They're in Mount Vernon going north from Carbondale and losing right now.
West has been kind. Here comes potential punt from Hoffman. Let's see what the call is there. As that punt is going to fall to about the Mount Vernon 30, taking a bounce to about the 25.
Well, there you go. Those thoughts echoed in here are not the thoughts of us.
Well, can't hear him over the cell phone 9 times out of 10, but you did hear it over the stream. Okay. So we will not acknowledge. 3:40 to go in the third quarter, 14-7, and the Rams will have it 1st and 10 in their own territory, but we'll see if they can continue to move the football as they've done here in the second half. So it'll be on about the 26-yard line. Far hash will be the spot. It's all been powered tonight by Community First Bank of the Heartland, the official voice of Rams Athletics. 5 Jefferson County branches and responsive quality service for all of your accounts. Community First Bank would like to be the first to say, welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC.
Adjustments. Mount Vernon will start at their own 26. Another big, long drive might put a dagger in Carbondale if you get a nice long drive and a touchdown at the end of it.
We'll see what happens here. Got to avoid the turnover. Scores will come your way throughout the latter part of the third and into the fourth quarter and into our postgame show. It's going to be a sweep coming to the near side for DeMontez Miller-Gray. Has to get his own man out of the way first. Gets to the 30. It'll be a gain of about 4. It'll bring up 2nd and about 6. We'll see where the spot is. Blockers can be a good thing. In this case, it was a slight hindrance. Oh, he lunged forward. They're going to give him a nice little spot beyond the 30-yard line. It'll be 2nd and about 6 with 3:17 to play in the third quarter. 14-7 Rams on top. They trailed 7-0 at the half, but it's been all Mount Vernon here in the second half. Rams hoping to keep it that way. Split to the right, split to the left. Looks like that Swanson split to the right side. In motion, it's going to be Hester. He's going to get the carry off to the right side. Big, powerful back is the sophomore Drew Hester. He's brought down from behind, but he got across the 35 down to about the 36. I thought he might have gotten first down yardage, but he did. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams. Nope, it'll be 3rd and short.
3rd and short.
Really?
Not quite there yet. The throw down and then the roll. That's why they did not give him the yardage. Columbia beat Freeburg tonight 21-14 on a lot closer game than many people thought.
It's a Montclair rivalry game. As the quarterback Reeves is going to take a keeper like Tom Brady. Get first down yardage, and it'll be 2:22 to play in the third. It'll be 1st and 10 Rams up 14-7 as that went to about the 38. So gain of roughly 3 for Dylan Reeves and the Mount Vernon Rams. Tony Wilt, glad to help your family with all of their insurance needs. Give the office a call. Find them on the web at TonyWilt.com or look for the White State Farm Jeep around town. VA guy here tonight proudly told me he saw that White State Farm Jeep around town earlier today. 1:59 to go in the quarter. It's going to be a pitch to left side. Drew Hester. Nice footing there at the 35. Lunges past the 40 to about the 42. A gain of 4, if spotted there, would bring up 2nd and 6.
Well, Drew Hester's your second halfback. Power and speed.
And they're giving about 3. So it'll be 2nd and 7.
27-26 Mosquito over Triad with 5 to go in an exciting one.
3-yard gain, 2nd and 7 here. 1:30 to play in the third quarter. The quarterback Reeves under center. Pitch is going to come to the near side. It'll be Drew Hester. He bulldozed everybody on that one, including his own guy, as he gets to about the 45, gain of 4. If that's where the spot's going to be, doesn't appear as if it will. So it'll be a gain of about 3, and it'll be 3rd and 4. The clock should drop below the minute mark here on this play. 3rd and 7 for the Rams. Or, 3rd and 4 for the Rams. They'll split Marshall off to the right side. It'll be Gardner off to the left. Clock is below a minute to go here in the third. Rams up 14-7, need a first down. Reeves is going to try to quarterback keep his way to first down yards, but it's going to be a gain of a long maybe 3. Not quite there, but it keeps the clock rolling. Ooh, it does not get a favorable spot. Wow.
Didn't help.
Well, they do it again on 4th and short with 35 seconds to play in the quarter. 14-7 Rams on top. Obviously going to go for it here. They're up a touchdown. Tailback will be Graham Hinken. Double tight set here for the Rams, trying to get Carbondale to jump, and they did. Wow. That's the Rams clinch. Wow. Nice job. You see what the Rams did there, staying on the line?
Yep. Carbondale's 6th penalty of the night, the 13th first down for Mount Vernon. The drive continues.
Staying in the stance, did not give any inclination that it could have been them that flinched. It'll be a first down on the offside penalty. So the clock will roll, and you don't even have to get a playoff here in the third quarter.
24-7 Benton over at Harrisburg. Giddy up.
That's going to be a big win for the Benton Rangers.
Yep.
So everything's over here in the third, but the horn. Clock will strike 2, and there we go. We've reached the end of the third quarter. The Mount Vernon Rams 14, the Carbondale Terriers 7. We'll take a break. This is Rams football powered by Community First Bank.
Complete. That's the orthopedic state-of-the-art MRI, a spine care team that focuses on pain management, arthroscopy specialists offering total joint replacement, hand surgery, and complete rehabilitation services. Doctors Chow, Houle, Ahn, Kowalski, Freehill, and Smith stand ready to serve you today with offices in Mount Vernon and Centralia and satellite offices in Benton and Nashville. Find out more online at orthocenter-si.com.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new One account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations with 7 ATMs and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC.
This is Joanne Joy with Community First Bank. You're listening to the Rams on WMIX.
And we welcome you back here at fourth quarter action for J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. 14-7 Rams on top.
Defensive penalty, and you can't end the quarter on that.
So that is my apology. I did not realize that there was a flag on the field. I jumped the gun, and Rams, of course, got the untimed play. So now we are at the end of the third quarter. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside.
And the best thing is Mount Vernon has the lead. That's the most important factor of all this.
It's been a different Rams unit out here in the second half.
Yep.
Exactly what they've needed.
And it's like
a game of 5.
Carbondale has some resistance, and you notice that Carbondale's not put up much of a fight when there is resistance.
And I don't want to keep going to this, and I apologize for those who think I may have gone too much. How big a difference will that Drew Hester level make? Like, that really started to see. I mean, would you not agree?
It's your money play. I mean, that's a nice 30-yard run. Okay, nice 30-yard run. You still got to score, but then all of a sudden, you run that guy over, and it's like, okay, well, there you go. I mean, it's done and over, and you get that excitement. That's what's propelled Mount Vernon here in this game.
Sweep off to the right for DeMontez. Miller-Gray, they sniff it out. There's going to be a flag. It was 2nd and 5.
This will be interesting to see what it is. Heron wins big night, 64-13.
There'll be a hold on the Rams. There's going to be a big loss here depending on where the hold occurred. The flag, of course, is back at the original line of scrimmage. Now, okay, they moved the flag to about the 34. So it's not quite as bad. Doesn't come quite as far back. It'll be 2nd down and long for the Rams. 11:54 to go in the fourth quarter. 14-7 Rams are on top. We're here from your WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Ford Square, 1501 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Schedule your service appointments online at fordsquare.com. So glad you could join us tonight on WMIX Mount Vernon as we're near the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour. A game that got started late. A weather delay.
Koki is now at 24-6.
Unreal.
So they'll come in with some momentum next week, beating Centralia.
Curious to talk with Ryan Roddy tomorrow, one of the voices of the Orphans on our sister station in Centralia. He'll be there when we're there.
Oh, my.
That's working a real job
36.
Tomorrow.
Now,
quarterback Reeves is under center, split left and right. He's looking to pass, looking for Gardner. That's going to be overthrown. Probably a good thing it was, because there was Michael Lewis ready to intercept.
Yeah, that was good. It hit nothing but grass there.
So now it'll be 3rd and 18 for the Rams. 11:43 to play in the third quarter. Stops the clock, unfortunately. Still up just a touchdown, 14-7. Reeves, the quarterback, will come in from the sideline. They'll split off. Gardner left. Jacoby Marshall to the right side. Reeves, the quarterback, under center. Miller Gray, Hester, Hicken. Hicken, a nice block. Is this going to be a fade route down the far side? Oh, and it's going to be blocked. That's going to be a great block.
And that's not pass interference. I guess they're letting hand-to-hand combat go more than I think.
Wow. Yeah. Head was facing the receiver.
Hey, I saw fewer hits in hockey than I did there. My goodness, they were letting them beat each other down the sideline.
So after all those accolades a moment ago, we can officially say that was the best call. 11:38 to go in the fourth quarter. 14-7 your score. They're going to charge the punter. Trying to get the block, and Reeves gets off a boomer. Bursey waits on it, and that's going to slip past Bursey, and that's going to go. Stop. Oh, just past the end zone. Looked like it might take a rest on an edge at about the 1, but 11:29 to go. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Terriers. That's a heck of a lot better than 1st and 10 from midfield because Bursey was ready to run.
Well, it's almost deja vu, is it not? I mean,
deja vu compared
from
to
last week, where you're up by a touchdown. Last week it was 2. Here comes Marion. Now you're looking at it again, staring down the barrel. Carbondale has it at their own 20, ready to roll down the field once again.
11:29 to play in the fourth. 14-7 your score. 1st and 10 for the Terriers from their own 20-yard line. Probably going to go out of the shotgun, which surprises me. They were so effective out of the eye. Now the shotgun, 2 on each side. Mount Vernon on top, 14-7, 11:29 to go. Is this going to be a quarterback keeper? Good fake by the quarterback. As Hoffman is tripped up, that's a big tackle there.
It's a nice spot, too. 11-yard run to go. First down. Marion's up 38-22 in the fourth over Altoff. Well, they found their mojo last week here.
Told you. Brant Hill's the man on a mission last week. 11-12 to go in the fourth. Rams up 14-7. Play clock at 15. This is going to be a handoff to Gaston, breaking to the outside. Cuts back to the near side at about the 40. Down at about the 44-yard line. Gain of 13. And here come the Terriers.
Yeah, here come the Terriers. They're not a happy bunch over there. They're ready to get something going.
10:54 to play in the fourth. 14-7. Rams hanging on to a touchdown lead. Had an opportunity to slip out of grasp a moment ago. 10:52 to go. 1st and 10 for the Terriers. Ball on their own 44. It's out of the shotgun. Good fake there by Hoffman. This time it was sniffed out by the Rams. Looks like maybe Grider in on the play on the far side. Nope, that's Drew Hester, the outside linebacker. And it'll be 2nd and long.
Well,
looking for an award to recognize an individual team or other accomplishment? Check out Winning Edge's fashionable line of plaques, trophies, medallions, glass, and acrylics. Visit winningedgeusa.com.
Carbondale jumped.
In a big way. It looked like maybe Andre on that far side is one of many. Bad enough to where the wide receivers are going on their routes. Let's see, Jylan Rush check in. So 10:19 to play. It'll be 3rd and 6, to make that 2nd and 16 for the Terriers. 14-7 Rams on top. Hoffman dropping back to pass out of the shotgun. No drop, but now he's going to lean forward. Now he finds some running room to the near side. Marshall gives chase. Marshall's going to be beating the foot race. He gets to the 40 out of bounds.
Oh,
where was he out of bounds?
Yeah.
And there's a flag on the play.
It was. I mean, he got out of bounds. Stop was plenty out of bounds. You're going to have a 15-yard penalty on Mount Vernon. It'll be a first down on the penalty. And it was there.
So the Rams shoot themselves in the foot again. 10:01 to play in the fourth quarter, 14-7 to score, and the Rams would actually probably have a bit more of a lead if not for all the Barney 5 shots to the foot.
Well, I'd like to welcome in WMIX sports correspondent Todd Rushing listening in on his way home.
Very nice.
From Carterville. There you go.
Atmosphere's just right.
Yep.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Terriers, trailing 14-7, 10:01 to play in the fourth quarter. As the ball will be spotted on the Mount Vernon 41-yard line on the near hash. And this gives Hoffman some room to work with. Mercy will be in the left slot. They'll have Williams split to the left side. Lark will be split Nope, he'll be in the right slot with Andre split the right side. We're having some confusion. It'll be the fullback, and I've discovered that's Michael Gary, wearing 44 tonight.
Man with two first names. It's tough to find him.
Yes, it is. Won't even find him on a map. They don't want to go in the fourth. Now the shotgun burst. He'll be in motion. Now over to the right slot. Roll to the right side, and Drew Hester has Hoffman at midfield at the 49. Loss of 8 will be second 18 on the Hester sack.
Here's what's happened. Mount Vernon's picked up something. When they send a guy in motion one way or another, that's where Mount Vernon figured something out. As soon as the guy was lined up on the left side, backed off, went in motion, the whole coaching staff said, go with Hoffman. He rolled to his right, and that's where they went. It's a good read by the Mount Vernon coaching staff to prep their defense to get ready for that.
There's now 2 on each side with a single back out of the shotgun. Looks like Gaston's back into the game. Hoffman out of the shotgun. It's plenty of time to throw. It's going to be a short pass completed to Andre. He's going to try to make a move down to the outside. Let's pick up back to the near side at the 30. Tumbles to about the 27-yard line. Where that'll be a gain of 20 through the air, and the Rams having issues. 9:15 to go in the fourth.
They let him get back to the inside. Can't do that in that situation. Use the sideline as your friend. First down Terriers, and they're driving.
3 left, 1 right for Carbondale. Hoffman, the quarterback. Out of the shotgun with Gaston. This is going to be a halfback handoff out of the shotgun. Go to the right side, snipped out. Williamson and maybe Heiner. I'm not sure who the last Ram was that came in. It's lucky they didn't get a late hit. The rate this one's gone.
Yep.
14-7 score, second and long for Carbondale. Mount Vernon with a touchdown lead, 8:44 to play. Second and about 11. Maybe a no gain if they got lucky. 8:36. It's going to be a pitch coming left side. This will be Gaston. Cuts back to the right between the hashes. Tumbles to about the 22-21. Gain of 5 or 6 will be third and mid.
Yeah, two things. First, he hasn't done much considering the stats he had coming in the game. So you have to be pleased with the defense, and you wonder if he's maybe a little banged up. We don't know. He's not getting a lot of carries.
8:10 to play in the fourth. 14-7 Mount Vernon out of the eye. Carbondale's been effective out of the eye tonight. This is going to be rolling the pass to the right side. Rams defense bit. This is going to be complete on the far side at about the 10. I could not see the target. It might have been Andre.
I saw 12.
Michael Andre. Yep. The clock stops to move the chains. 14-7 score. It'll be first and goal from right at the 10.
And then if Carbondale scores, do they go for 2? Or do they take the tie and take their chances?
This is going to be an inside handoff to Gaston for pay dirt for a 10-yard touchdown. No flags. And it's going to be 14-13. Rams only up 1. And Carbondale, what do? Rams football is presented by Community First Bank. If you're tired of big corporate banking, you have a choice in Jefferson County. Community First Bank is at home. And Dick Sina, Woodlawn, 2 branches in Mount Vernon. Welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC.
Low-scoring game, but we're close to being tied up.
14-13 the score. Young on for the point after attempt to try to tie. Hoffman, the quarterback, will hold. We wait the snap. Here it is. The kick is up. Line drive that shoots the outside. No good. And the Rams hang on 14-13 with 7:54 to go in the fourth.
Oh, my.
Got to run some clock out now unless they go for the onside kick.
Well, Carbondale, 9 plays, 3 minutes, 80 yards. And unfortunate thing is they missed the extra point.
You don't expect that out of Carbondale. White hat and one of the judges are talking about something over there at the near hash on the floor.
They can't change it now, guys. Hope that's not what they're wanting to do. Oh, I see what they're doing down there. On the other end. They're reading us.
On Twitter, at WMIX Sports, give us a follow. Please. Not trying to beg. You'll like it when we get there, we promise. Unless you don't like high school sports information, then by gosh, you probably won't like it.
Probably won't like it.
There's that.
Althoff. Marion beats Althoff 38-22.
Interesting. So they're part of the pot.
Hey, that guy's copying off me down there.
Because they're listening to us.
That's crazy.
They follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports.
They listen pretty well, too.
7:54 to play in the fourth quarter, 14-13. What will Carbondale do with the leg of number 55, Mickey Young? I was told it was Young. I hope that's accurate. The soft J. Kind of like a Paul Janisch or something along those lines. With 7:54 to go in regulation, the Rams up 1, 14-13. Carbondale missed the point after try. Okay. Here it comes. It's going to be a boomer. It's going to be off toward DeMontez Miller-Green about the 10-yard line. We're going to run right up the middle. He's at the 30, still on his feet, 35-40, trying to get past his own man at the 42, dives to the 44. Well, the Rams should have pretty good field position coming up.
Nothing wrong with that. No fumbles. See what happens. See what happens.
7:44 to play, where the Rams will have it first and 10.
Edwardsville all over Belleville West tonight, 45-14.
Kind of had a feeling. Edwardsville's that good. Belleville West isn't terrible. They're not too shabby. 7:44 to play. Is this year maybe a Southern 7A, 8A goes anywhere? Boy, it's tough up north.
Oh, you run into Manuka a lot of times in the second round.
Manuka. Man in motion is going to be Hester. He's going to get the carry, trying to come off tackle, gets to midfield, brought down to 49, gain of 7. Unofficially, it'll be 2nd and 3. 7:36 to play in the fourth quarter. Rams trying to keep the clock moving. Carbondale unofficially had 3 timeouts.
When you're 7A, you run into Manuka, and then a Wheaton Warrenville fill in the direction.
Omnidirectional Wheaton Warrenville's when you know you're in trouble. Yeah. So the Rams are in Carbondale territory. 7:20 to play in the fourth, up a point.
Wow.
14-13.
Eminem's daughter's old enough to be in high school. Go figure. She was on homecoming court tonight in Michigan.
We saw
Not here. In
no. Yeah. Reeves, the quarterback for their center, is going to be Hester again. They're going to dial up his number. Already got a gain. Stays on his feet. 45, now down to the 40. Bulldozes down to about the 35-yard line, maybe the 34.
First down, Mount Vernon.
I know I use the word bulldoze a lot, but that is what Drew Hester does.
No, that time he looked more or less like a little scooter running through the world there as he got around different people, maneuvered left and right, powered over one guy, got the first down. It's quite all right.
The big engine that will.
He's just running people over. Ooh.
Yeah, no.
I didn't like that trend.
No, bugs all over.
Benton beats Harrisburg tonight, 30-7.
6:44 to play in the fourth. Rams football is presented by Community First Bank. 14-13. Rams up 1. First and 10 for Mount Vernon. It's going to be a handoff. Yep, Drew Hester. Keep calling his name. No seam there. Shut off. Maybe a gain of 1. 2nd and 9.
Yeah, they knew he was coming. Mount Vernon went with the we're hot. Let's keep going with it.
Going to the north.
Stop us, and that was the end of that hot hand on NBA Jam.
Rim Lake College offers over 100 degree and certificate programs, 4,000 less. See which is right for you with full descriptions at rlc.edu. They present our video streaming. 6:10 to play in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 9 for the Rams, up 14-13 over the Carbondale Terriers in South 7 Conference action. Barring ties, half of the conference will be 2-1, half will be 1-2. Marshall to the right, split to the left side. Doug Gardner. Reeves going to keep it himself, but not going to get a lot on the quarterback keeper, maybe past the 30.
Yeah, it's okay. You want to get positive yardage, keep moving forward, get first down, run that clock down, as this play will be under 5.5, 5:20 probably by the time we get to the end here.
So it'll be 3rd and about 6 for the Rams. Ball on the Carbondale 28-yard line. Well, whatever it is, it's there. With 5:30 to play. Marshall on the right, Gardner on the left, Reeves the quarterback under center, wing back to the left side. Miller Gray's in motion, going to get the carry. There's a lot of traffic over there, but Miller Gray can make it happen as he's inside the 25 to the 24.
6 more yards. Carbondale in the first half, remember, had more plays, run more plays, whatever. And now Mount Vernon's basically doubled them in the second half. So it's about tit for tat as we look at in the second half.
So it'll be 4th and short. We'll drop below the 5-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Rams 14, Carbondale 13. It'll be on the 24-yard line, spotted on the near hash in Carbondale territory. 4th and short for the Rams. On the right side, Marshall. On the left side, Doug Gardner. Reeves the quarterback under center. They're going to try to stack. And the Rams will burn a timeout.
Yep, nothing wrong with that. Make sure you see what's going on. Rochester wins 28-7, more points for Mount Vernon.
You don't say.
Don't say. I know. I'm just shocked.
But, I mean, of all the games they had left in the schedule, that was intended to be the closest.
Well, that wasn't. Mount Vernon played as close as Chatham did.
Yeah.
So if you want to look down the road and, Yeah, okay. I feel you. Right, if and so and if. Right.
Timeout is brought to you by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Dr. Eric Black and staff love to support the Mount Vernon Rams and Lady Rams and the local community. 4:43 remains in the fourth quarter. The Rams have fourth and short on the Carbondale 24, up a point, 14-13. You got to keep the drive going at this point. See what they go with out of the timeout. We're feigning the QB keeper to see what Carbondale is going to do, and they stack some more.
What's he been at all night? He's kind of slow on the trigger tonight. That follower. There he is. He's celebrating, I'm sure.
You called it earlier.
I did.
Rain rained him out of certain things.
Yeah.
He slows down.
It's a nice win for Benton.
Yes, it is. 4:43 to go in the fourth as the clock stops for the timeout. Split to the right, Marshall. On the left is Gardner. Critical fourth down here for the Rams. They're going to stack the box, give to Miller Gray. Does he have running room to the outside? He has the first down from where I sit. If it gets to about the 21, it would be a gain of 3. And that will be another Mount Vernon first down, as the clock will pause for the chains to move. With 4:38 to go in the fourth, Rams on top, 14-13. So now the clock will wind. Trying to get the clock at 4:38 to go.
You're at home.
14-13. Reeves, the quarterback, under center. Deep man is going to be Drew Hester, and he's going to try to find some running room. Past the 20 down to about the 16.
Another 4 yards. Just a dagger every time. Doink, 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 and there you go.
Second and 6.
Greenville 6-0 again. They beat Payne at 56-21. That's another team that always gets filtered into 3A down here.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Can be quite depressing for some. 4:04 to play in the fourth quarter, 14-13. A 1-point game. Second and 6 for the Rams. Split to the right, it's going to be Marshall. Tight on the left side is going to be Doug Gardner. The quarterback, Reeves, is under center. Same formation. Except this time they're going to go pitch, and this could be a loss for the Rams. As that could be a loss of 1. As they went pitch to the right for Hester and Carbondale, and everybody saw it coming. With 3:36 to go.
Clock still runs. Carbondale trying to hang on to some timeouts in case they get a chance to ride the ball down the field, but they got to start thinking about strategy here. I mean, you don't want to have them timeouts going back up, going south down 57.
No doubt.
Third and long, 2-play territory.
Enkin on the left, Miller Gray on the right. He's going to be in motion. It's going to be DeMontez on the carry, trying to get sweep. He needs a block. Going to get it, trying to get to the outside, trying to shimmy back to the near side as he gets first down yard. Pushed out of bounds, still on his feet.
Wow.
Inside the 10, down around the 5-yard line. I can't see that from here. With 3:04 to play in the fourth, the Rams get the first down.
Yeah, that touchdown's coming. And it is coming. Because right now Mount Vernon is looking fine.
With 3:04 to go in the fourth quarter, it's 14-13. It'll be first and goal from the 4-yard line. The ball will be on the far hash.
Second, third, and fourth effort by the hyphen. Get an extra yard.
Now, that was one good play. Make your own great play when you open a Community First Bank free high-yield checking account. Just ask for one. Community First Bank of the Heartland. Is this going to be a carry going just about nowhere on the keeper?
Reeves not going to get much. Clock still runs. Carbondale electing not to call any timeouts.
Second and goal.
I was going to say, come on, you got to call a timeout here. Mount Vernon's going to keep running the clock. I know you want to try to save some TOs, but my goodness, there's not going to be any reason to save them if you don't stop and do something here.
Medicine Shop Pharmacy in Mount Vernon, proud sponsor of Rams Timeouts. Dr. Eric Black and staff support the local community and wish the Rams the very best this season as the Rams lead Carbondale by the skin of the teeth, 14-13. But threatening with second and goal on the 3-yard line. That was a 1-yard gain for Reeves. Clock stops the timeout. Both teams unofficially have 2 timeouts left. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside as we're about 13 shy at the top of the 10 o'clock hour. As the Rams are hanging on to a 1-point lead, could really use some pay dirt. Here's the thing, if you're the Rams, do you go for 2 and try to put it out of reach?
Oh, that's, I don't know.
Because if you just get the touchdown, you're still up 7. So Carbondale, if they were to score, could go for a tie.
Right.
We'll see what happens.
Benton, Bree Central beats Redbud 34-8. Carlisle shut that Westland 43-0. Yeah, Benton better get those wins for Carlisle. They better go to Carlisle. Carlisle's not an easy place to go play in anything. They're always good.
Yes, they are. 2:54 to play in the fourth. 14-13 Rams. Second and goal from the 3. Ball on the far hash. Put to the right side, Marshall. Tight on the left side. A couple of wingbacks. In motion is going to be Hester. He's pushed back beyond the line of scrimmage. He's going to try to have to race to the outside. He's at the 5. Leaps into the end zone for a touchdown. Drew Hester leaps into the end zone. And the Rams take a 20-13 lead.
Wow. How about that?
Wow. Who is he? And where did he come from?
Who cares? He's a player.
Amen. And the Rams take a 20-13 lead.
Wow.
2:47 left to go in the fourth quarter. It was from 3 yards out. Hester got bumped back beyond the 5. The Rams are going to try the point after with C.J. Lloyd. I'm assuming he must have been practicing quite a bit. Snap is rough. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So the Terriers would have to get the touchdown +2. Rams up 8, 21-13, with 2:47 to play in the fourth quarter.
Well, that's a nice little drive there by the Rams. You have 11 plays, 6 minutes, 55 yards, and now you're up 21-13 with 2:47 to go.
Just where the Rams want to be. 2:47 left to play in the fourth quarter. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski. Jeff Crow brings you the video at WMIXSports.com. Holly Carroll is back in our Mount Vernon studio. It's all been powered tonight by Community First Bank of the Heartland. They have 5 Jefferson County branches. They are the market leader here in Jefferson County. Community First Bank of the Heartland, Mount Vernon, Dix, Woodlawn, and Ina. Welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC. Online with onlinebanking.com, firstbank.net. They're on Facebook. Find them. Learn more about lunch. Check out that awesome video production. So Reeves on to kick off. Back to return. Bishop Mark Bursty on the far side. Near man, it looks like Derek Bishop. Nope, that's going to be Michael Gray. Gary. My apologies. So Reeves' kick will be end over end, tailing toward the near side at about the 19. It's going to be Gary. Giving chase to Londo Watson. Londo comes up with a tackle. The 20 will be 1st and 10 for the Terriers. 2:41 left. Rams are up 8. It's 21-13.
Well, Kokia wins 38-6.
I do not want to be a player on the receiving end of a Mark Goodhart head slap. Congratulations. Whoa. Rams coaches, Rams players fired up on the sideline. However, it's going to be up to the 11 on the field to make the stop. 1st and 10 for Carbondale. Ball on their own 22. It's on the far hash. They're going to split off. Williams to the left side. Nobody in the left slot. Trips on the right. And now the quarterback Hoffman has time to throw. Knutson gives chase. It's going to be dumped off and caught by Gaston, the running back. He has room to run, and he's going to break the outside at midfield where he's pushed out of bounds. And that's too close for comfort with 2:30 to go.
That's a lot of yardage to give up in one play. As that goes for a long way.
That's going to go for 27 yards.
Ooh, can't do that in this situation.
29 as he's on the other side. So he's in Mount Vernon territory, ball in the far hash. Hoffman will send 3 to the left side, 1 to the right. Gaston's in the backfield with 2:30 to go in the fourth. Rams on top, 21-13. Carbondale needs touchdown +2 as Hoffman rolls right side. Almost tripped up, gets out of bounds, and now stop the clock with 2:24 to go.
Yeah, didn't get much. But it goes again.
What can the Rams defensively do here? Can they bend but not break? 2nd and... no gain. Maybe a gain of a half yard, if that, with 2:24 to go. Shotgun for the quarterback, Hoffman. 2 on each side. Split left and right, 1 in each slot. Tailback, of course. Singleback, I should say. They're coming with a vengeance. He's going to run up the middle. He found some running room. Breaks for the run, trying to get the outside at about the 45, and he'll be brought down. Football's fumbled. Do the Rams get it? And the Rams have a first down on the fumble recovery. As Hoffman fumbled the football, tried to get greedy after crossing to the outside. He ran up the middle where he had plenty of room, tried to make it fancy footwork, and that'll cost the Carbondale Terriers big time.
Yeah. Just a fumble running out in the open. And, of course, you have to tuck the football. And, of course, that was not done. The ball was poked out of there. and the turnover goes towards Mount Vernon, and the Rams have it with a chance to run out the clock. They're going to need probably one more first down. Maybe not.
2:14 to go. Rams with the football on their own 30. It's on the far hash. Reeves, the quarterback, is under center. Going to hand off to the bruiser. It's going to be Drew Hester to the 30 for no gain. 2nd and 10 with 2:08 to go. Carbondale wants the timeout. Yep, why not? Why not? Timeouts presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Dr. Eric Black and staff at the Medicine Shop in Mount Vernon proudly support the Mount Vernon Rams.
One timeout left for Carbondale by my unofficial account.
You and me both.
The horn went off me.
21-13 your score. The Rams are up 8. They got the big fumble. Hoffman was running for a big play, fumbled the football. Rams recovered near the far sideline. Now they have it 2nd and 10 from their own 30 with 2:08 to go. Carbondale has one timeout left. Rams need a first down.
Hey, Glenn, if you get the 4 and 2, take your chances winning 1. We will have every final score of the 3 conferences in Southern Illinois that we particularly pay attention to, plus the Rams non-conference finals. All those games are done. We'll have them in the postgame.
Ridiculous.
A lot.
I'm impressed as always. 2:08 to play in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Rams from their own 30. The quarterback is under center, Clayton Reeves. It's going to be DeMontez Miller-Gray somehow snuck out some yardage as he gets to the 40. That's going to be a gain of 10. Where's the spot?
Ball game. As Mount Vernon turns it over, that's a first down, under 2 to go. Clock will stop briefly, but that'll be the end of that.
The clock rolls. 2 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Rams up 21-13. Carbondale hanging on to that final timeout. They'll split Jacoby Marshall off to the right side. On the left, it'll be Doug Gardner. Miller Gray, Henkin, and Drew Hester are your wingbacks tonight. On this particular formation with the quarterback, Reeves under center of the box, pretty well stacked. Reeves is going to plunge forward, trying to get yardage, and plunge forward he does as he gets to a bound. Knee is down at about the 44. Ball was about the 46. They're going to go ahead and give him to the 46-yard line for a gain of 5 to make it 2nd and 5. Well, Carbondale takes the timeout. The clock will start. 1:27 to play in the fourth quarter. 21-13. Rams on top of the Terriers. Have outscored Carbondale 21-6 in the second half, and that's where we told you in the pregame that Carbondale would slow down.
And again, the second half, their offense, they have a touchdown, but that's it. All that.
And here comes. It's going to be a sweep by Hester as he bulldozes his way past midfield to the 46. That's going to be a gain of about 11, and it'll be first down for the Rams. The clock will drop below the minute mark when it restarts after the chains are in place. Community First Bank of the Heartland is the official voice of the Mount Vernon Rams here on WMIX.
Oh,
you should know.
Don't leave yet, folks. Cheer these kids on.
Carbondale
cramping.
Carbondale burn. Well, my apologies. I thought I saw them wave and then point to Carbondale, but that's actually Hester.
Or Hester, I should say. Sorry. He'd be tired, too, if he ran over all the people he's run over tonight.
After all that, with 57.6 seconds left to go on the game clock, 21-13 your score. Rams up 8. Carbondale at this point would need a turnover and a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Not much. Hopefully Drew is okay. As the two sides will talk about it in their collective huddles with their coaches off to the sidelines. On an injury timeout. All timeouts presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Hopefully the young man just needs a banana and some water. Not necessarily in that order. So he'll get a nice rounding, standing up ovation and a little bit of applause as he comes off the field with some assistance. That looks like maybe a cramp. I'm not a doctor, nor did I stay in an HI Express last night. Schubert. And O'Neill will help him off. 57.6 seconds left to go in this one. Mount Vernon 21, Carbondale 13. Looks bleak at the half. Rams trailing 7-0. Clock will wind. It'll start. We will drop below the 50-second mark with 1st and 10 for the Rams. Ball on the Carbondale 47. They'll run the play clock down. And the Rams are looking for that fourth win as Reeves will take a knee in victory formation. The Rams just have to get one more play off here. 30 seconds left to go. Play clock will start now. There's a 2-second differential. So what? 2 more knees by the Rams, and they will be 4-2 and 2-1. There's another. And the Rams will win this one. 21-13, your final. The Rams beat Carbondale by 8. We'll tell you all about it. The second chance, or make that the Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show. Sorry. Exciting times here in the King City. The Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show is next. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
I'm Tyler Barker with a look at your next rad weather. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and isolated thunderstorms, a low of 66. Saturday, a slight chance of showers and isolated thunderstorms, a high of 84. Saturday night, a slight chance of showers and isolated thunderstorms, a low of 51. Sunday, a slight chance of showers, partly cloudy, a high of 65. Sunday night, a slight chance of showers, partly cloudy, a low around 42. Monday, partly cloudy, a high near 68. Next rad weather from WMIX Mount Vernon, Illinois.
Fuel economy and technology could not be more affordable. Hi, Roy Schmidt Ford dealer at Ford Square, Mount Vernon. You will love the fuel economy with up to 38 miles per gallon on the 2013 Ford Focus. Or try the technology in the 2013 Ford Fusion. Available sync with My Ford Touch allows you to keep your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road while you play your favorite music, control the climate, make phone calls, and receive turn-by-turn directions. Save up to $1,500 in customer cash or try 0% financing for up to 36 months on Focus and Fusion. Or for a party on wheels, how about the 2013 Ford Fiesta? With up to $2,500 in customer cash, you will find amazing savings on a Fiesta 4-door ready to get you 39 miles per gallon highway. Come see one of our sales associates at Ford Square, 1501 Broadway in Mount Vernon, or find their inventory online at fordsquare.com.
Paying bills can be such a hassle. Write a check, find an envelope and a stamp, mail it, and repeat. Bill pay with People's National Bank can save you time and money. Just go to peoplesnationalbank.com, log in, and pay all of your bills without using a single stamp. Pay anyone, any time of the day, instantly. Stop by People's National Bank today, and we'll help you get started.
People's National Bank, serving Southern Illinois since 1909, member FDIC.
Too expensive to get back into shape? Not anymore. Rend Lake College's new fitness center is only $53 per semester. They've also thought of everything with universal machines, free weights, treadmills with dedicated TV screens, ellipticals, and more. Qualified dance instructors are also available. Or go at your own pace with DVDs that can be used in the exercise room. Best of all, it's open 7 days a week. Check out the Rend Lake College Fitness Center in the Marketplace off Potomac Boulevard in Mount Vernon. Or log on to rendlakecollege.edu/Fit Center.
America is a nation on wheels. Everyone has at least one automobile. We use them for shopping, work, everything we do. But they can be a threat. Some accidents can't be prevented. Your professional Pekin Insurance Agency, Page Insurance on Crownview in Mount Vernon, can help protect you from a large financial loss when an accident happens. Call Page Insurance today at 242-7000 about low-cost auto insurance from Pekin Insurance. Ask them about the many money-saving discounts that are available. Depend on your hometown professionals.
Pekin Insurance.
This is Mount Vernon Rams football from WMIX Sports. The Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show starts now.
And we welcome you back on WMIX and WMIXSports.com. This is your Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show. Rams win this one here tonight by a final score of 21-13. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski, of course, Jeff Crow with us as well. Provides the video at WMIXSports.com. Holly Carroll is back in our Mount Vernon studio. As the Rams come up with a huge win tonight, 21-13 over Carbondale. They are 4-2 overall, 2-1 in the South 7. Carbondale drops to 4-2 overall, but they are now 1-2 in the South 7. So, there you go. Kind of odd how things work out sometimes. So, it'll be an interesting week next week in the South 7 Conference as the Rams travel to Cahokia. Carbondale, of course, will have an interesting one with the Althoff Crusaders. So, we'll tell you plenty more. Of course, since Ray has Cahokia next week at home. But there we go. So that's going to do it for us for now. We need to take a break. When we come back, we'll get you some scoring and stats here on your Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show. 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon, online at schmidtchevrolet.com. We'll take that break. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
Friday Night Lights are back. The best in high school football content is right here at WMIX Sports. Don't miss area coaches and our panel of experts as the Saturday Sports Show revisits the region's most important games. We'll also recap the WMIXSports.com scoreboard, plus talk up other local sports. Look for the Saturday Sports Show after the 8 a.m. news on WMIX 940 and WMIXSports.com. Powered by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital. It's what healthcare should be.
Attention all Medicare Part D pharmacy patients. The annual enrollment period begins October 15th and ends December 7th. And the Medicine Shop Pharmacy is ready to help you. Stop by or call to make an appointment with Eric Black or Tracy Adams. They'll review your current prescription plan and help you manage your Medicare dollars. Here's pharmacist and pharmacy owner Eric Black.
What we offer to our patients is to sit down with them and answer questions that they may have about their medications, really with the end goal of being to maximize their dollars, because that's, after all, what patients really want. We'll take appointments, we'll sit down with them, take as long as it takes to help them choose a plan that is effective at meeting their needs.
Remember, the good folks at the Medicine Shop Pharmacy are never too busy to take care of you. They look forward to understanding your healthcare needs and will focus on keeping you well. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon.
To call to make an appointment, call 618-242-8776.
Hi, this is Joe Davey Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new One account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations with 7 ATMs and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC.
Find us on Facebook. This is Rams Football from WMIX Sports.
And we welcome you back, WMIX and WMIXSports.com. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside for your Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show. 21-13 the final. The Mount Vernon Rams defeat the Carbondale Terriers tonight. And what a logjam atop that South 7 Conference again this week. But he starts to thin the herd a little bit. Now we see what happens next week. It's impossible. Or is it? Well, yes, it is impossible for everybody 500 next week. But anyhow, that trickery's done. But we'll have final scores, we have stats, we have a lot of information to send your way here on the Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show, 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon, online at SchmidtChevrolet.com. 21-13 is the final we know for now here as the Mount Vernon Rams beat Carbondale. How'd they do it?
Well, unofficially, Mount Vernon was 17 first downs to Carbondale 13. Actually, Carbondale had 20. Turnovers, Mount Vernon 1, Carbondale 3. That was the difference, too, the turnovers. Mount Vernon, 4 for 52 yards penalties, 6 for 22 for Carbondale. Rushing, Mount Vernon with 343. They had 13 passing yards for 378 total. Carbondale with 124 rushing, 114 passing, 248. And the difference was Carbondale could not get anything going. Mount Vernon turned it up a notch, was more physical in the second half, and wins tonight 21-13.
There you go, big win. Rams need another one if they want to have hopes for the postseason, though. And a tough Cahokia team stands in the way. They got a big win tonight. Of course, we'll tell you some scores in just a moment. We need to take a break here on your Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show. Rams win this one over Carbondale 21-13. We'll tell you all about it when we come back. This is Rams football presented by Community First Bank.
Backaches, bad hips, rickety knees? Why not try aquatic therapy? The Red Lake College Aquatic Center has more than a swimming pool. Try a 6-lane, 75-foot lap pool, along with a whirlpool 10 feet in diameter and a 10-foot by 20 hydrotherapy pool. Aquatic therapy is very affordable. In many cases, the tuition is waived entirely. With special access and dressing areas for the elderly and physically challenged, getting in the water is easy. Experts are on hand to assist with various areas of aquatic fitness and rehab. Call 437-5321 extension 1207 or visit rlc.edu.
Here's Jeff Schmidt for Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon.
We don't care where you purchase the car. We would like to do your service work. They can pull their car right in, they shop, get out, and go into a climate-controlled environment. Our customers really do enjoy that. Our customers are very important to us, and we strive very hard to make the buying experience and the service experience second to none. I know a lot of dealers say that in their advertising, but we live it.
Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon, 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon.
Back to Mount Vernon Rams football, powered by Community First Bank of the Heartland.
And we welcome you back on your Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside as the Mount Vernon Rams prevail tonight over the Carbondale Terriers by a final of 21-13. Man, what a log jam on the top of that South 7 Conference race. A race indeed.
It's a jam. It's jammed. It's jammed up and it's ready to go. And again, what did we learn tonight? Like we said before the game, win or lose, we probably weren't going to learn very much tonight, and we haven't, because now Cahokia and Marion, Mount Vernon won. Marion beat Mount Vernon. Marion lost to Cahokia, and now Mount Vernon's going to play Cahokia next week. So A, B, C doesn't equal each other.
No, they don't. Of course, we teased some scores to come, as we told you before we went to the break the first time, that we'd have all the finals.
Well, let's start unselfishly in the Black Diamond, and we'll kind of work our way back around. Chester remains undefeated, beat CZR 40-20. That winning streak in the Black Diamond continues now. They're up to 15 in a row. El Dorado beat Fairfield tonight 29-21. El Dorado remains undefeated. That's airing down for an El Dorado-Chester battle in the end of the year. Johnston City beat Alvarado Trico 47-6 on the road. Carmi pulled a double nickel and beat Hamilton County 55-13. And Medina Goreville had an impressive win at SPWW 41-15. Go to our friends in the River to River divisions tonight. There were 6 games. Benton at home wins 30-7. Heron on the road wins at Massac 64-13, so fireworks not much of happening down there in Metropolis tonight. Murfreesboro at home beats Frankfort 35-14. In the Mississippi side, AJ on the road beats Pinckneyville 36-15. DuQuoin holds Sparta on 4th down deep in Indian Territory to win 19-14 and keep their playoff hopes alive with a record of 2-4. And Carterville at home beats Nashville 58-14. South 7 tonight. It was Marion over Altha 38-22. Cahokia on the road beats Centralia 38-6, and of course Mount Vernon beats Carbondale 21-13. Your non-conference opponents tonight for Mount Vernon: Rochester gets the Rams a point 28-7 over Chatham Glenwood. Triad beats Muscuda 32-27, another playoff point, and Mount Carmel beats Jasper 27-14. So the Rams rack up 5 more this week, and obviously one more win, and the Rams are definitely in the playoffs because they're going to have a ton of points compared to a lot of teams.
That they will. And, of course, that scoreboard update is presented by Tony Wilton, State Farm Insurance. For all of your insurance financial service needs, see Tony in the King City. He's at the corner of 42nd South Watertown, Mount Vernon, worldwide at TonyWilton.com, or look for the white State Farm Jeep around town. Of course, Rams football is powered by Community First Bank of the Heartland, no doubt about that. As Clayton Reeves is saying about the 45, wanting a shout-out.
What does he want?
He wants a shout-out.
I already gave him a shout-out on Twitter long ago.
There we go. So
I'll
that
give him another one.
Taken care of. He is not eligible to be our player of the game tonight, but I think Drew Hester, without a shadow of a reasonable doubt, is our player of the game tonight.
Yeah, there's no doubt. The run down there in that third quarter was the end of it.
So there you go. Saturday Sports Show tomorrow. We'll have a loaded lineup coming your way once again, 8:08 until 10 o'clock right here on AM 940, audio at WMIXsports.com. That does it for us tonight. We'll take a look at your quick South 7 Conference standings. The Marion Wildcats are 2-1, though they are 4-2 overall. The Rams are 4-2 overall and 2-1 in the conference. I believe Cahokia is 2-4 overall in the 2-1 conference mark. Carbondale is 4-2, but they are 1-2 in the South 7 Conference tonight. Centralia is 4-2 and 1-2. And Althoff, I believe, is 2-4 and 1-2 after tonight's loss to the Marion Wildcats. So that's a quick, I don't know, glance, gander, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know which verb I'm looking for here.
Well, it's an exciting time. I mean, Mount Vernon needs one more win to get in the playoffs. It's going to be tough. I mean, next week at Cahokia, everybody knows that is an incredibly tough place to play.
Oh.
And, you know, they're coming off a big road win at Centralia themselves tonight. So
your next win could be 168 hours away or it may not come.
Well,
that's what's crazy about the rest of the season.
As you look to next week, and we'll give a brief preview before we go off the air, Carbondale's at Althoff. That's 2 teams that are wobbling a little bit, you know, obviously. Centralia's at Marion. Marion's probably finding their way a little bit. You favored Marion. Mount Vernon, Cahokia, that's probably the game of the week next week as far as when you look around Southern Illinois, because with the Red Devils losing tonight at Fairfield, that's not much of a game next week. Everything else is pretty well. DuQuoin, Anna. I mean, Anna could put the end of DuQuoin. Other than that, it's Mount Vernon, Cahokia, game of the week next week, basically.
There we go. That does do it for us tonight as the Mount Vernon Rams victorious over the Carbondale Terriers. For Danny Czerwinski, for Jeff Crow, for Holly Carroll, for all of our WMIX sports team. Thank you for taking the time to listen tonight on WMIX and watch us online at WMIXsports.com. I'm Chris Hugo reminding you of the final score. The Mount Vernon Rams 21, the Carbondale Terriers 13. So long from the King City.
You've been listening to Mount Vernon Rams football on WMIX and WMIXsports.com. Rams football is sponsored by Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Rams football has also been sponsored by the Medicine Shop of Mount Vernon, Ford Square and King City Chrysler. You can count on us. Red Lake College. Save thousands on your college education. Log on to rlc.edu. State Farm Insurance Agent Tony Wilt. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Second Chance Auto on Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Van Terra Bank. Good Samaritan Regional Health Center. Raising a Hospital. Raising the Bar. Winning Edge. Schmidt Ford of Salem. And also by the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois. Landers Collision Centers of Mount Vernon and Salem. Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon. All Stars and Stitches. Central Christian Church. And People's National Bank. Stay in the game on Twitter. Follow us at WMIX Sports. Or log on to WMIXsports.com. Now back to America's best music on AM 940 WMIX.